episode. It's episode 200! Recorded on Sunday, March 31st. Happy Easter 2024. I'm Drew. And hey, John. A son says, "Hey, Dad, why is my sister called Teresa?" Dad replies, "Because your mom loves Easter and is an anagram of Easter." "Oh, thanks, Dad." Dad says, "No problem, Alan."
Hey there, fellas, it's me, the Easter Bunny. I hope you're having a good day. I wanted to call and congratulate you on 200 episodes. Wow, that's really something. Anyway, I got a joke for you. Want to hear it? Here it goes. What did the Easter egg say to the boiling water? "Sorry if it takes me a little while to get hard. I just got laid by some chick." Ha 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 ha. Wow, you guys are so much fun. I hope you have a great episode. Anyway, my favorite sexual position is bunny style, believe it or not. Oh, I gotta go. I'm so tired delivering all that candy to the kitties. So, you guys have a good show now. Bye-bye.
What is up, everybody? On tonight's episode, we celebrate 200 episodes. Woo! We wrap up some contests and give away tons of cash. And we reminisce on some old content with trivia, games, lots of listener questions. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Easter Bunny already joined us. John, happy Easter, buddy. How you doing?
Happy Easter. I am so full. You know me. I usually have a snack or a drink or something. I am sitting here with nothing. I am full of fluids and foods and candy. I can't even deal.
Well, wasn't today the big day you had to go to your mother-in-law's?
We ended up at my Brolo's, and she cooked. So she made the ribs and the chicken.
And okay,
I was so nervous about this, but she had brought it over early, and it was cooking in the oven when we got there. And so my sister-in-law was looking at it. And she's like, "John, is this done?" You know? And I'm like, "Well, it's like, grab a fork. They got to be really soft. I don't know if it's done, but they should be really, really soft." And they were not. They were like, I was like moving the fork, and I'm like, it should be shredding off. It should just peel off.
Yeah.
And then I said to her, I go, "How long have these been in?" Because I cook mine for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
She's like 10:40. It was like not even 2 hours. And it's like, no freaking wonder. So we figured out a way to just delay, and we just delayed dinner. We had appetizers and stuff like that. So we got an extra half hour of them cooking in, but not good.
They weren't good.
They're not cooked enough. And she doesn't take the meniscus off, and she doesn't even put any barbecue sauce on them. I swear to you, there's no barbecue sauce.
So what's on them?
It's just ribs.
This is just plain ribs.
It's just ribs. There's no barbecue sauce. They don't look red. Like, it's crazy.
Sounds awful. So, did you eat them, or you just tried to pit around it?
I did. At the end, I grabbed one just because I wanted to see,
research.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'd shoot on them, but it was like not an enjoyable experience. I already have ribs in my fridge right now. I'm going to make them on Tuesday, so my kids will know how good I can cook. Chicken
sounds like you can't fail.
I know. She didn't do the chicken drumsticks this time, which are undercooked. So this time we got overcooked thighs, I think, or something like that.
Thighs are the worst. Can we agree thighs are the worst part of a chicken?
I don't mind thighs. No, I don't mind thighs.
Really?
Sometimes they can be too dark meat, or I don't know, but I don't know. They're not terrible. The funny thing is that my sister-in-law's mom is an amazing cook, and she cooks so many great things. Oh my God, she's incredible. And she's going to do a smoker cookout in a few weeks. And it was like almost embarrassing. Like, she is cutting up these ribs, 3 racks of ribs. She is cutting them with a knife and having trouble. And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. I feel so bad for my mother-in-law.
Did you just say sister-in-law's mother?
So it's my brother-in-law, because it's Michelle's brother.
Yeah.
There's no word for.
Oh, I know what you're saying. It's her. So it's
Yeah,
not your mother-in-law. I gotcha.
Right. There needs to be a word for my brother-in-law's wife, because I'm a brother-in-law. She's a sister-in-law of the
It's
family, but
confusing.
there's no relation between the two. So I still call them sister-in-law.
And then her mom would not be your mother-in-law.
Correct. Yeah. Sorry, that's confusing.
Fuck, it's deep. It's deep. It's deep.
But her mom's a great cook. And it was a little embarrassing. I'm a little shamed out, but whatever.
That's why I just made a turkey. Can't mess up with the turkey.
You can mess up a turkey.
Well, I did not mess up the turkey.
That's good. That is good. You can definitely mess one up. That is for sure. But you didn't. See?
No.
You got to give yourself some credit. You got to give yourself some credit. Can I just bring it down for a second? Because this is a huge bummer. I want to talk about it. But yesterday, Chance Perdomo died in a motorcycle accident.
No shit. He was in the Gen V, right?
He was in the main actors in Gen V.
I know.
And that
awful.
is 27 years old. He did such a great job.
Way to be a Demi Downer.
And they were going to start season 2. And I mean, he was a major character. Yeah. I mean, he's a major character. He's maybe the main character in that show.
Awful. I mean, I liked him. He was a good actor.
Yeah, he did a great job. That was a massive, massive bummer, by the way. Feel very sad about that. And I transition off of that. I should have picked my spot, but no, that super bummed me out all day today when I found out. And even Michelle was like, "Who is that? Is he on the show?" And I was like, "He's like." The only line from the show that Michelle even remembers, because she didn't watch it, was a line that he said after the guy from Supernatural, the guy who plays God, what's the name of the guy? He's from Supernatural. I'm so full. I can't think.
There's no. We need to be
Jensen
top
Ackles
notch tonight. There's no excuses. Top notch.
Jensen Ackles was on season 3 of The Boys. He played the new guy, right? The total asshole dude. And Chance Perdomo is the one that says the line like, "That guy's a dick," right? After they encountered him. That was the only line she knows from the show. And I was like, that's the guy who said that line. Anyway, we got a minivan.
Oh, the minivan.
Minivan.
Now you had to order this, then they don't have these things in stock anymore.
We had to wait about a month for it. We weren't on the hook. We could have bailed out anytime, but nothing ever happened. Had to drive up over an hour to Greeley. We spent 2 hours at the dealership going through all the stuff.
By the way, that's
another
the
hour
worst
back.
fucking thing in the world, the dealership.
Nothing is worse.
Somebody needs to make that experience better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, didn't cars.com, don't they just send them to your house? But who wants to do that?
I know, you go to the dealership, you're all excited, you have a price that you've been told, and you just know as you go through the financing, they're going to add, warranty stuff and dealer fees and taxes
and registration, and it's like,
and by the end of it, you're like, oh my god, my monthly payment is ballooning.
It's like $100 more than you expected. A month.
Exactly. And we got the big long warranty, so we don't have to worry about oil changes or service or anything for 10 years.
That's great if it's close by. If it's out of your way, I find that it's inconvenient.
Yeah, and we went to Greeley, but we can get our car serviced at the local Toyota. It's Toyota wide instead of dealership.
That's worth it then.
But it's nice to have 2 cars. And the first thing I freaking did when my wife was subbing and the kids were at school, KFC. Got myself my chicken
sandwich. You took the minivan to some KFC?
No. I took my Honda because they took the minivan.
Oh, because you had
before they were taking the car and I didn't have a car.
That's
so
tough.
I got my KFC chicken sandwich thing going. I might do it again tomorrow.
You just said how full you are. Now you're talking about KFC again.
Tomorrow.
You'll feel better tomorrow.
That's it. What about you? What have you been up to?
I mean, I cut down 3 trees yesterday and survived and didn't break my fence. So that was a huge win. I'm excited for that. Summer is upon us. Besides, we're supposed to get some bomb, cyclone, nor'easter storm Tuesday to Thursday. It's 2.5 inches of rain or potentially 2 feet of snow. It's we're on the bubble of the temperature, which it's fucking April, and I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of rain and I'm tired of wind. It's fucking done.
Wind is dangerous when you have a lot of trees.
and then you add a lot of rain and the ground's soft and saturated. It's not a good combo.
Yeah.
But John, there's really only one thing to talk about, is that last weekend I attended PAX East, and I missed you. I wish you were able to come out there. I get it. It's a lot. It's a big commitment. But anywho's, I did join the other two horsemen. Bob Cousy and Hambone were there. We had a fantastic short weekend. I went up there Friday afternoon. I took the train up into Boston, met up with those guys, and I ended up sleeping in Cousy's hotel. He upgraded his room to have two queen size beds for me. God bless him. So that night was great. We just kind of hung out for a little bit. We went out to a nice dinner. We had some good food. We went to a Nashville style,
like barbecue-ish type thing. Like I think we got like spicy chicken, like fried chicken sliders. Like a Nashville hot, like
yeah, it was. They had live music going on. It was good. It was hopping. It was very loud in there, but it was good. We had a fun time.
Yeah.
And then we went over to they went to PAX East on Friday. I was going to go all day Saturday. So we were looking at some different types of like after parties, because they have a lot of those that you could go to. And there was this one place called the Red Bull Arcade, which was like sponsored by Red Bull. So we went there, and it was awesome. They converted this like bar, which is pretty good sized bar. They almost like they gutted it, and they brought in all of these old school and new school type arcade cabinets, and they set it all up. And then they had a Twitch streamer there who does speed runs. Like they had a whole setup for him, and then TVs throughout the bar that you could watch. And so he speed run 2 games. He did Mario Odyssey entire game in like 52 minutes.
Oh my god!
And then he did Tears of the Kingdom. And so like we weren't really like, we just got there. He was in the middle of Odyssey. We got some drinks. We were playing some games. We were kind of just like figuring the place out. And then he's like 20 minutes into Tears of the Kingdom, and he's like leaving the not the Great Plateau. What's the island they call in Tears? You know what I'm talking about. The beginning area. We were up in the island. Anyways.
I call it the Great Plateau.
Yeah, we were watching it, and we did kind of like got wrapped in like, this guy's speedrunning. This is incredible. And he does, we just kind of like grabbed the drink, just kind of like sat there like in awe, watching him play the next 30 minutes and beating Tears of the Kingdom in 55 minutes. It was
55.
asinine. So I will say, I know there's like different types of speedruns. This was one that definitely like he kind of like jumped through areas. Like you can like kind of jump through, like it's like kind of
glitch through. Yeah.
Glitch. Yeah. But he beat the entire game without the glider.
Wow, paraglider,
sorry. It was incredible. Like there was this way that when you're like, so he jumped off like the Great Plateau area all the way down to Hyrule, and if you like take a shield out right before the ground, it kind of like, it's almost like shield surf. I don't know how he does it, but it like avoids fall damage, and it was incredible.
Because in order to get to the bottom, they give you the paraglider in the sky. Right? I kind of think you get the paraglider when you're on the ground.
So he didn't do it, right? He just sped through it and didn't do that quest.
I'm remembering getting the paraglider when you're on the ground, like after you find the first town, like it's later in the game.
I think you're right.
But then how do you get from the sky? Oh, you dive into the water. I don't remember. Jeez, I don't know. That's crap.
All I know is
that's nuts.
Watching this guy makes you realize that whatever you think you're good in a video game, it's just you're not. Like the things he was doing were incredible. He was there was another duplicate glitch he was doing with the rubies, and did you know you can throw rubies and they explode like bombs? No. I didn't know that. And he was dominating these guys towards the end of the game.
Throwing ruby, and that's not a glitch.
And then I guess it was. I don't know if throwing rubies is, he duplicated the rubies. And then he didn't have any high end items, so he had like one item that did like 30 damage. And he did this weird duplicate glitch that was like, it stacked it on top of each other. So though it looked like he was holding like one spear, he was really holding like 37 spears. So when he hit Ganon, he like one-shotted him. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible to watch, but it was really cool. But yeah, then Saturday we ended up going to PAX East. This is my first experience. It was incredible. I got to play a bunch of games. I figured I'll talk about those a little bit later. I'll split it up. But it was a great experience. It was, again, in the Boston Civic Center. Lots of cosplay walking around, lots of merchandise booths, and lots of games to play, a lot of indies. I mean, there were some big ones, right? There was some, but I mean, right now there's not really any like massive games on the horizon, at least that, I mean, what was, Boulder Gate guys had like a huge booth. That was pretty cool.
Marion, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. They had a Dune for the new Dune game. There was a couple other big ones. But
was
we focused
Nintendo there because they had seen that Nintendo, so it was
had
just a mistake.
2 Pokemon booths. So they had like a Pokemon trading card huge booth, which you could like enter and play a game of like cards. That was the bigger one. And then there was another one that kind of just had Scarlet and Violet, and then you could also wait in line and meet. They had Pikachu and Eevee like in their costumes.
Did you
could wait in line and meet them?
Did you?
The line must have been an hour wait. I did not wait for them for that.
Evan was so mad.
Yeah, but no, it was a great experience. I think I would do it again. We ended up doing a couple of like the side rooms. There was like Mario Kart tournaments and a few other things you could do, and some speakers. Like I said, tons of cosplay, some hotties, some not hotties. But it was an awesome experience. We ended up actually going back to the bar arcade later on because we had some time to kill. The only problem was it was like very shitty weather. It was pouring out all weekend. So,
oh wow!
But we had a great time. It was an absolute blast. I'm glad to see those guys. Like I said, wish you could have joined maybe next time. And
I've always wanted to go. I've been to cons, and they're always like comic cons. I'm just not that into comic stuff, but there is usually stuff there that I can like. And when I went to San Diego Comic Con, that was when Walking Dead had their like huge cliffhanger. And we were really into the show, and we got to see them talk, and like that was really exciting. But most of it is like, I don't know what that is. I would kill to go to like a video game convention.
You would love this. You would absolutely love this. This is right up your alley because it's a lot. You know a lot of the games that you're seeing and stuff. The other thing I wanted to mention really quick was there was a lot of like you could purchase card games and puzzles and this stuff. So there was 2 games that I did buy, family kid oriented type games. They're just regular, like little card type games. The first one is called Deducto, like DE Duck Toe, and it's just like a regular card game. It's pretty much Clue, but it's a card based game, and it was a lot of fun. It was great fun. All of us played it. My 9-year-old played it and could understand it very easily. What I liked about it, both games that I got were $15. 15-minute type games. Like they're short, snappy. You can play a few rounds of them. So Deducto was a lot of fun. I think Coos and Hambone both bought this one as well to play with the family. Again, just a Clue style type animal game. It was cool. The other one, which has now become like a family favorite, I think we played it every single night in the last 7 days. It's called Butts on Things. And it's just random things in the world, and they add butts to them, like a taco, a cheeseburger, a disco ball, like a basketball, and they just add butts on them. So right there, the art is awesome. And the point of this game is it's kind of like a match-in game. You kind of have to lay the cards out. And the idea is you want each row on the ends to have the same card. And then you get all of those cards and you pick them up. And at the end, when there's no cards left, whoever has the most cards wins. Very simple game to learn. Again, it takes like 15 minutes to play. It's fantastic, and the kids love it because everything has butts.
It's butts. Yeah.
It's just butts. So those 2 games again were like $15, and again they only take like 15 minutes to play. So those were really 2 good card games that I picked up. And then John, you turned me on before I went to.
Did I turn you on? Yeah,
you always turn me on. What was the name of those like 3D shadow boxes?
Artovision.
Artovision. So you kind of gave me the heads up, like, hey, they might be there. They're pretty cool. And they were. Mm-hmm. So I went and I found they had like the old school from the 1970s, the Hobbit animated film, and they had like Bilbo in his house, like in the Shire, and I love that shit, and I jumped on. They're not cheap, like you said. That was not cheap. I probably shouldn't say how much I spent on it, but it's awesome.
Yeah, the first time I ran into them, I was like staring at it, like, oh, and I was like, I know I'm going home with one, but I gotta pick which one, but they're all very cool. I have the pigskin and the King's Quest ones.
Oh, those are cool. I really wanted like a punch out one, but they didn't have one. Like,
Ooh,
imagine
that
a
would
little
be good.
Matt fighting someone with the ring. Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
But that's it.
no,
We
that
had
would be cool.
great weekend. Shout out to those guys. It was great getting together and seeing them all. And until next time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was looking at PAX West because that's
Yeah.
closer to me, and I was like, "Where is that? And when is that?" And it's in Seattle, end of
That's
August.
where they had. Yeah, that's when they had the Nintendo Live, right?
Yeah. And I was looking at the guest list, and it was like not the best list of
Yeah.
you know how it is. There's streamers and stuff you've never heard of.
Yep.
It's like 5 people named McElroy, and it's like, wow, like of their 18 featured guests, 5 of them have McElroy as their name. Give me a break. But Kid and Krista will be there, so that would be pretty cool. Go see
Nice.
Kid and Krista, and Reggie Fils-Aimé is going to be a speaker there too.
Oh, that's really cool too.
But it's like Seattle. Wish it was in California.
How far is that for you? Would you?
Not terrible. I've driven to Seattle, not a problem. But
Yeah.
We might be going to California this summer, and I don't know. That just becomes tricky.
2 trips. Yeah.
Yeah, too tricky. But if we ever go to like just Seattle, I would definitely go during PAX West and make that part of the trip.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Very cool.
All right. Well, let's we got a lot to go through. Not a lot of news. We got tons of questions and talk about our 200 episodes. But let's kick it off with what we've been playing. And you and I have both. I love when we both play the same game.
We've been busy. I've been very busy.
You have been unnecessarily busy.
Yes.
But we've both been playing Pepper Grinder, which came out on Thursday. And what do you think about this one?
I beat it. I beat it yesterday.
I beat it too.
It's short. It's like 4 hours. Spoiler alert. It's like 4 hours, maybe 4 to 5 hours.
Depending on how much you go and get the coins, all of the coins. Yeah. It is remarkably short. Not terrible though. Yeah.
I love Devolver, right? I love the graphics, the style of it. It's very smooth. I will say there's a mechanic in this game that drove me like insane. Like we used like the verbiage. I wanted to throw the controller. I never would. I'm not that type of guy, but like it made me. Can you guess what the mechanic is?
A mechanic in the game.
I guess you could
There's
call
not
it a
many
mechanic.
mechanics. There's the drill mechanic. You can use the drill to like raise the flag at the end of the level. You can use a drill to that'll be a little bit of a spoiler, but you can use the drill to do various things. What is the mechanic?
It's a mechanic.
Let me say, when you were in the shop area, is it in the shop area?
Nope.
Okay.
Let me know. It's in a lot of the levels. So it's when like they have like the grappling hook.
The grappling hook.
It's like you're doing your drill thing, and then it's like you got to jump out of the sand and you got to grapple.
And you spin.
I don't know if it's me. The controllers to control the grappling, my brain can't comprehend because you're holding ZR to the drill, and then you got to hold Y to attach to the grapple.
Yeah.
And then you let go of every button, which is weird.
Right.
And you just go in a circle. And then you have to hold ZR. And that means whenever you push it, you're going to jump from your circle into wherever you're pointing. The problem is when you do these things and you have to do it really quick or else you hit a wall. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're grappling and then you're letting go of the buttons, but then you're holding them again. But you can't hold them because when you hold it, you're going to jump off the grapple. I think the buttons are fucked up. I think that's the problem.
It is one of those mechanics. I did. There was one part where, like, a lot of times you come out of dirt and then you grapple and you like spin and then you go right into dirt. So you don't have to time that. But there's other times when you grapple and you can either hit the jump button to sort of do a light jump off of the grapple, or like you said, drill and you kind of fly.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times when I was trying to do it, especially one section, and my muscles just were not agreeing with me. It's a mechanic you have to stop thinking and just do it. Because I think there is something a little wrong.
There's something wrong with
the buttons there. There was a bug I noticed where sometimes I'd finish a level and I was on a different map.
Really?
It was clearly a glitch. Like it would bring me back to this special level on an old map. But otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I love the drilling mechanic. The levels are fun. There were some levels that had some, like I said, I don't want to go through all of the things in there because the game just came out, but
Yep.
the game had so much variety of gameplay. It never felt like I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
I really wanted this game to be awesome. I agree with that. No, it was snappy, right? And the levels
Mhm,
were cool. I thought that like the level design was awesome. Like I just if
mhm.
I think back about it, I'd give it like an 8, 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like I think it was a solid game. I had fucking grappling hook. Like that lost a half a point for me
Yeah,
because it really got me like just that not anxiety, but you know when you play a game you get like frustrated almost.
right. Yeah. You want to
It was
control it.
that
You want to feel like a badass.
because it wasn't like I didn't know what to do. It's like I couldn't do it, and it wasn't like it was just that feature. I didn't get it. My mind
Mhm.
didn't get it.
Yep. I would give the game like you said, about 8.5, I would say,
Yeah.
maybe skew a little higher. I really did enjoy it. I loved it. Had one of my favorite things in platformers where you get an ordered number of coins, and if
Yep.
you don't get all the coins, you know it's in between this coin and that coin is
Exactly.
something I missed.
Agree.
Give me a little zone that I can focus on. So it had that going for it. I went back. I got all the coins. I was trying to 100% it, so I was trying to collect stickers,
Yep.
and then I was like looking at my percentage, going, "This isn't jiving." The stickers are, let's be honest, they're stupid. You go to a sticker
Yeah.
machine, you pay 100 points, and you get a sticker. A lot of the times they're just repeats. You just have to buy tons of stickers. If you were to run out of points, and then you just have to play levels to earn points so you can
Yeah.
buy
That'd be.
stickers, fuck that. That's a
I
terrible
agree.
mechanic. But I was noticing there was special stickers, and I'm like, is there like a zone I haven't done?
Yeah.
And so the game has time trials
Yep.
when you pick a level. And so you can choose which one you want to do. And so you say time trials, and then there's like a third place, second place, first place. If you get first place, you get all three
Yep.
special stickers.
Rewards. Yeah.
So I,
Rewards.
I
Yeah.
did try that right before I went away to Easter dinner. I got second place, so I got two stickers, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna sit here and do
I
this.
know.
I'll play it a little bit more and just dork around and get a bunch of stickers, but it doesn't feel like a
Yeah.
mechanic that you're gonna want to 100%. And I just did the first level and I tried it twice and I could not. I was still 15 seconds off of the
I
score.
did the same as that thing. I couldn't get
Mhm.
the top one. I mean, the only way would be is if we did a monthly mayhem, John. I mean, if enough people were playing it and we wanted to do one,
Maybe
you could pick 5 levels and just do time trials or
time
something,
trials.
or you just do percent complete, I guess, could be. But you know what?
Yeah, it's
If people want it, let us know. We'll run one, but we need at least 5 to 10 people if we're going to do it.
yeah. It's a really good game. Is it too short? I don't know. Like sometimes with these games, if it went 15, 20 hours, it'd be like, all right, I've done the same
I
thing.
agree.
They did such a great job with the variety, though. I felt
I
like
do agree.
they had more they probably could have done. It never felt like you were doing the same thing. You're doing water and you're doing this thing and this
They
thing and
changed
this.
it.
It was great.
It
All
was
the
great.
levels are very unique and interesting.
The boss battles were fantastic, pretty unique for the concept was. I thought the boss
I
battles were
found them.
solid.
I found them. They were interesting in variety. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
They were a little frustrating because, like the one with the girl, and she spin around the level, and you can't hit her at certain times, but you can hit her at other times. And sometimes she would like be hittable for like a split second and then
Mhm.
not. And I found it frustrating because you get 4 energy bars, but you can go to the shop areas and buy extra energy bars.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you can go to the level and you'll have 8 energy bars. But then if you die, you have to leave the level and then buy those energy bars
I think
again.
that's fair. I think
I
that's
don't
fair.
make
That's the
Can you let me spend the points? Like let me spend the points and get the 8 energy bars without having to leave the level and go to the shop and then come back. I just felt like it was annoying. So like every so often I would go get those 8 energy bars and then I would die maybe and then I'd be like, I'll just try it with the 4, you know.
yeah. I
Um
gotcha.
I loved though that third boss where you have like that sort of car section before you get there.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah, that
really
was cool.
fun.
The snow one had
Um
like the snowmobile. Yeah, there's
yeah,
some very for the game of what it is. Like you said, the variety was. I wasn't
it was great.
expecting that much variety.
Yeah.
Do you know if you haven't played this game yet and you've played these past games, if I had to compare it, it's almost like Ori combined with Celeste. Like that's the way I kind of felt. Remember I think that was the first Ori where there's actually that exact mechanic, the drilling mechanic was an
Yep.
exact entire like world in Ori that
That
you
was what
went
I
through
thought when I
sand
saw it. Yep.
and it was the same mechanic, which is fine. That's okay. But
It was great. No, it was
Yeah.
well built. It's one of the better kind of retro style games. It's really fun, great platformer.
agreed.
I really enjoyed it. I kind of hope there'll be some like free extra content at some point. 'Cause I do
Another
believe it
world or
was.
something.
I knew it would be short when it was $15 because I was like, come on, this is a $20 game and you knew it.
Yeah.
And then I
And it's
saw reviews
Revolver.
saying they said the only problem with it is that there's not enough of it. And I was like, nah, I like short games. But yeah,
Yep.
like mine was like 5 hours. It was like, okay.
When I
Cool.
got to the final boss, like I was like, I didn't realize it at first, and then I won't spoil anything. I was like, oh, this is the final boss.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I didn't know because
Yep.
the amount of worlds you played and stuff like that, I just didn't know. Like you said, I just wish there was more. Yeah,
It's very good.
Talking about it, a solid 8. Solid 8.
Yep.
Because of the grappling. Could have been more.
A little return. This is weird. You know, Drew, we've been taking some flack for saying there's nothing to play on Switch, right?
Mm.
And Kuz has definitely been like his ballbuster, like prime self. But like, yeah, that we have been having some struggles figuring out what to play. And last was this past Tuesday, I had to bring my daughter to dance class for the first time in a couple weeks. I was like, I don't have anything to play on Switch right now. I'm waiting for Pepper Grinder. And I want to play Unicorn Overlord, but I'm like, I was waiting for Pepper Grinder. I was like, what do I play? And guess what I pulled out, Drew? Pulled out Mario versus Donkey Kong. No, first I pulled out my dick. Then I got arrested in the car. Yeah. Mario versus Donkey Kong. And I was like, you know what? Let me try these. So I played all the way through, got all gold stars up until credits.
And then you didn't play after that.
And then after that, there's like 2 more sets of levels. I was like
50% done.
Forget it. Yep.
And there's a lot.
Like, forget it. I knew there was a lot. And you know what did it was Marty on the Nintendo Dads. He said, and you know, he goes, you think that they're going to be different, but it's the same stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to come back to this.
Yeah.
And I came back to it. It's basically there was 8 worlds to get to credits.
Yep.
This is so basically the way it works is those same 8 worlds, they have plus levels.
Yep.
And then there's 2 pages of expert levels. That's it. Drew,
you're only 50% done.
I enjoyed these levels more than the original game.
They have the mini. They have the little mini guy. You get them around everywhere.
So every world has 6 levels the way it did before, but instead of having 2 parts to the level, there's just one. Yep. And you get one mini, and you have to get all the gifts, and then you get through the door, and that's it. It's only a 1-part level. There's not a mini level anymore, but there is a Donkey Kong combat level.
And they're kind of the same bosses, but there's a little change.
Little changes. So it was quicker because you didn't have the 2 parts to each one. Then the expert levels didn't have the mini at all.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were really goofy. Like they weren't all like super hard. There was a few of them that definitely tested me for sure. But some of them were like, one of them was just falling from the top to the bottom. And it was really easy. But if you wanted to get all 3 gifts, obviously it was much harder. And that took me a while. I had to look that one up.
Well, I'll see 2 people, it was easier.
Okay. I had to look that one up because you have to do the mechanic where you jump upside down and then jump again.
Yeah.
I hadn't used that mechanic the entire game.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I used a lot.
I did a lot of the backward jump where you go one direction and you flip. And it was tricky to do. Yeah. And like, if you want to do it instantly, you have to go, back, you know?
Yep.
I really enjoyed it. I finished it. In fact, I was finishing it off on Friday after I'd already started Pepper Grinder. I was like, no, I want to go back to Mario Donkey Kong and play through more of those levels.
Wow, good for you,
and
John.
finish it out. So I feel good. I did all the levels. Yeah, I felt bad because I had only played half the game, but I'm done. I enjoyed it, and I thought they were fun levels. I actually thought they were a pretty good time. So, yeah, I did that.
Very cool.
You and I both were playing through Sparks of Hope DLC.
Yes,
you played more than me. We played Tower of Doom. And I thought it was a really bad roguelike. It wasn't the worst thing I ever played, but it was also a little boring. But you've played 2 and 3.
I did.
The Last Spark Hunter and Rayman in the Phantom Show.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about those?
So the Spark Hunter DLC 2, if you remember the base game and a planet, think of this as just a whole nother planet, but a
Okay.
very large planet because it took me over 10 hours to beat it. And that was at 91% complete. So
Okay.
pretty close. There's a few more things I just said F and I'm fucking done with this. Um, I didn't love it. I didn't love it, John. They put you in. It's like this jungle-ish type theme, but like I didn't realize it was this long. And then I get through the beginning. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I'm coming up to the boss, like the King Bomb Bomb. Like that's the big picture on the graphic is King Bomb Bomb.
Mm.
And then you fight him, and I was like, oh my god, that was like 3 hours. I wasn't even close. Then a whole nother world opens up. It's not a spoiler. And the problem with the second half of this huge map is you have this little boat and you go around to all these islands and shit, and it's just like it took me
Wind
like
Waker.
2 hours to grasp where I was and what I was doing, and it made me remember why this game is what we thought this. It's so many like little puzzles and little stupid fights, and it's like it was just too much. It was just it was too much. So that one was eh. The third one I have not beat yet. I'll probably go back to it. Called the Rayman and the Phantom Show. This introduces Rayman, the character, right? Which I never really played those games. Did you?
Rayman Legends is incredible.
On the Switch.
It was on Wii U and it's on the Switch. Have you ever not played
Really?
those?
I saw that. I've never played. It's that like worth maybe picking up.
One of the best platformers ever made. Yep.
Oh no,
Yep.
man! Now I might have to grab. I was looking at it the other day. I put it on my wish list.
It's so much fun. It's incredible. Yeah.
Is that like a $60 game?
No, I bought it on Switch. I think it's still sealed. It was never 60 on Switch.
It's probably cheap. It'll probably go on sale. I'll look at it.
Yeah, they changed it when it left the Wii U and went to other consoles. They changed a couple of the level styles because it was using the gamepad on the Wii U, and then they ported that one back to the Switch.
Huh. Maybe I'll look into it. So Rayman and the Phantom Show is pretty cool because you're in this like old theater, kind of like Princess Peach, Showtime, but it's more of like you're on like a movie set / thing, and you start like a central hub, and off the central hub, central hub is like tons of little puzzles and battles you can do, but then off the central hub there's 3 big doors to different theaters, and then when you go in those doors, it's like other mini world. There's a Western theme, there's a pirate theme, and there's a medieval theme. But there's something about this one that just made it more, I think, welcoming and more easy to pick up. And you play as Rayman in the overworld, and he does introduce this new concept where he kind of like throws his hand, like punches stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it introduces some new concept in the overworld that you can do new puzzles with. But I think this one so far is by far the best of the 3. I've done a lot of the overworld. I've done all of I completed every little side quest in the Western, and I'm like halfway through the pirates, and then I had to do the medieval. So I'm having fun with this one. I think I'm going to go back and finish this one, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Some other games came out that I had to jump in front of it, but I think we're getting my money's worth. What do we pay, $12 for all these?
I think it was $12 for all the DLC. And I didn't even like Sparks of Hope, but I was like, come on, there's like, and they hyped, the Rayman one was the one they hyped from the very beginning. These other two, I didn't even know what they all were, but...
And you know what it is about this game, I think, is that the battling of the game, I really enjoy it, that tactic type style. But I think the game just gets old after like you play this game more than 15 hours. I just feel like it's just getting too much. And I think that's what happened in the original one, right? It was just really fun in the beginning. And then it's nice where you have different characters, so that kind of changes up your play style. But at the end of the day, I think it's just too repetitive. It's just... You kind of get sick of it.
One difference between the first one and the second one is when you are exploring the world and trying to 100%, the only battles you fight are the prearranged levels. And once you've beat them all, you really just run through the level on your way. You're not fighting. But in this game, you will always encounter enemies coming at you. So you're trying to explore the world and 100% it and find all the coins and whatever. I can't remember all the collectibles.
Yep.
And then some motherfucker hits you and you got to do a whole battle and it just slows you down.
It does.
I'm actually interested for Last Spark Hunter because I never 100%ed any of the planets in the game. I mean, they were just, the map is so incredibly confusing and I never could 100% them.
Wait for this one.
But after after Tower of Doom, It was such a lazy roguelike they put together.
It was.
I'm kind of looking forward to like doing
Back
a
to the grind.
planet or whatever until I complain about that shit. But
that one was long. I wish I just skipped to Raymond because I probably would have been more like energized for it. But it did kind of revive me a little bit with the concept of these different areas and like you're in this movie production set versus theater set. It sounds
like
cool.
Princess Peach when you like if anybody interrupted in the middle of it, they'd be like, "Oh, you're talking about Princess Peach? Oh,
Exactly.
Western, yeah."
No, you're right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you finish Princess Peach? You played Princess Peach as well, right? Speaking
I
of,
fucking finished it, beat it.
Yeah, not a long game either.
I believe Marty actually described this game pretty well. Good game, not great, but good game.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was kind of the expectation we knew going into it. I will say, for being such a newer Nintendo first-party game, it struggled in certain areas as far as graphics and loading. Like, to the point my wife brought it up. Like, wow, that, like... And she doesn't play a lot of games, and, she doesn't recognize that type of stuff. But
yeah,
there was some chugging. The biggest problem I had with this game, so my wife and I played it together. We would take turns, right? Where, not a spoiler, there's I won't say the number. There's a certain number of floors in the theater, and every floor there's 4 doors, and each door is a different Peach style, right? So every floor, I would play 2 floors, she would play 2 floors. It's just kind of what we did. We watched each other, we helped each other. To your point with the coins thing, same exact thing. It's as Pepper Grinder, where there's 8 coins to collect, and they call them little sparks, and they're in order. So if you miss one, there's a gap, which is, again, perfect. The problem I had is some of the, I don't know what you call them, characters or dress-ups, whatever, the different versions of Peach, like, suck. And luckily for me, my wife would play those levels. So like my wife played the Cooking Peach. There was a Detective Peach, which was kind of cool, but very like slow, kind of Professor Layton.
Right, you're not platforming.
Yeah, the whole game had a very Paper Mario type feel. But some of the things were okay, Sword Fighter ones, but some of them were just like bland and dry, and it was just, I think that was the biggest problem, where I think this would be a hard game to say, like, who's your demographic for? And we could say it's young girls, that's fine. And I'd love to, I know, like, Kuzi has 2 younger girls, and they both played this game, and they beat it, and they loved it. But I'm interested to see, like, how do you go from playing kind of like a beat-em-up sword fighter or kung fu type Peach, then to go say, all right, you're going to be a detective, and you're not fighting at all, and then you're going to go to a chef, and you're just going to, like, jam and bait stuff, and it's a weird concept for this. It's almost like you're playing multiple styles of games. You know what I mean? You're not playing a turn-based
but everyone's
RPG.
gonna like a different style anyway. It's like going to an ice cream shop, right? You're like, oh, you got chocolate, and then you have like hazelnut shit. Like everyone's gonna like something different. So maybe
you're gonna buy the chocolate and not the hazelnut. This one, you have to have both ice creams. You have to eat them all. You have to play them all in order to advance.
Right. Yeah.
So. But it was a cute game. It was clever. You can buy dresses and change the colors and unlock stuff, and then I won't spoil it. But once you beat the game, there is I don't want to say more necessary content, but there's more unlockable type stuff. You can go back and get your coins and unlock other things as well. I won't tell you what it is, but yeah, it was a good game.
One thing that I heard from multiple people was, you have these collectibles and stages, and you can finish a stage but not have gotten, I think you mentioned they were sparks or something like that. I've heard a lot of people say they don't have any motivation to get the sparks because you have to play the entire level, and that could take like 10 or 15 minutes. There's no checkpoints you can zap to. It did remind me that in Pepper Grinder, it has one of my favorite things where, like, if you go back and get the second coin and you're done, you can just exit the level.
So we tested that in Peach. It does not work. The coin does not count.
So you have to finish the level. I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that too, because what if it was the first star, the first coin?
Right. Yeah. So did you go back and try to 100% it, or same thing? You're just kind of unmotivated?
We did not go back. I don't really have a motivation. My wife doesn't know it yet, but I bought her Pikmin 3 for her birthday. So she doesn't know that yet, but we'll be playing that eventually.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's too bad to hear, because there are games, I've played them too, where you like, I don't want 100% this. Like with the stickers on Pepper Grinder. I'm like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me with the stickers? I'm just going to buy the same stickers over again and hope for the best.
Yeah. I'll be honest, if it was you should get it and then quit, I I think I
Mhm.
would. I think I would
Yeah.
go back and do it because I could literally do it in probably 25% of the time instead of I literally have to play almost the whole game again because the first time you play a level, let's just say there's I don't know how many levels, 30 levels. I probably only 100%ed 5 of them because you know it's
Mhm.
like the first time you play in the level.
Right. Sometimes you're just like, I see it, but I'm not going for it.
But if even if you don't see it and you miss it, you can't go back. It's
Yeah.
not like and I'll be honest, this game's not like Mario where you see the coins. They're
Yeah.
80% of these things are hidden and you have to go like so you probably missed like an exploration area.
Mm.
So it's tough and I guarantee of all those levels you're going to have to play them multiple times because you might not find them and you can't just go back. It's not like it's a side scroller and it's kind of once you go you can't really go back. So
Right.
you can't just go back and forth until you find them. Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
That was a miss, but again, maybe from like a younger kid point of view, they don't care. They're not trying to 100% them. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I'll play this one. I wasn't sure I was going to play it, but Michelle's playing it. She's enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it at least to see what I want to see more about this game and you know, everything I've heard from it. I'm going to get it all back
Yeah.
up. After we did our last episode, so I had started playing Splatoon 3, the Side Order DLC.
Ooh.
And I was kind of bored by it, honestly. I was kind of bored by it. It was the general progression is there are 30 levels. You have
Mhm.
to ascend a tower. There's 30 levels. Every 10 levels is a boss. So the first 10 levels, 20 levels boss, and then the final boss. And I found it a little boring in the beginning because you're like, oh my God, I got to go 30 levels. And there's like 5 or 6 different variations of level that you'll get. So there's like
Okay.
a turbine you got to like shoot at to get it to the end of the level. There's portals you have to destroy. There's these little fish guys that are like skittling away. You got to find them and beat them. There's not that many variations of or whatever. But like after we recorded, like literally that night and the
Mhm.
next day, I started to really get into it because the more you play and then you earn coins and then you can unlock things, you start unlocking, you make the first 10, 20 levels much easier. You get these vending machine floors, which lets you basically just skip a floor.
Okay.
So it doesn't, you don't feel like in my typical run, I'm only doing like maybe 23 to 25 floors instead of 30, which really makes it a little bit more efficient. I got my first beat. I think I got my first beat after the show. I can't remember if it was before the show. I think it was after the show. And I thought, and I did that with the splatter shot. And they give you these pallets, which are the sheets where you when you go through the floors, you every level you pick an upgrade.
Mhm.
Some upgrades are based on you have to play a harder level, but they give you the upgrade first instead of as a reward for beating that level. It's a reward before
Oh,
you play the level, which is interesting.
it is.
And so obviously, just like with other roguelites, it behooves you to try to get the better upgrade, even if you have to do a harder level.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I started doing that. It started getting easier. I beat it. And then I found like I want it's like, let me try the dualies. It was the only other one I was willing to do. The other weapons I didn't want to do. And eventually you just start unlocking keys, which gives you keys to the lockers, which can unlock other pallets. Eventually I had unlocked all the pallets.
You're hooked.
I just kept going, and then I'd finish with one weapon and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try this other weapon, you know? I ended up going through a lot of them. I had like 4 weapons left. All of them I hated. It was like the charger, the blaster, there was like the paint roller. And I was like, I do not want to use these stupid weapons. But what was great about Side Order is the way you enhance your weapon as you go up the tower enhances it in a way that you don't do that in the normal game. So, for example, the blaster is the weapon where you press the button, it sends out a somewhat powerful shot, but it's like, and that's it. It's a one shot. It
Yeah.
sucks. Never liked it. I never liked it um, in the the salmon run mode.
Yep.
Never liked it. But you can upgrade its firing speed. and then you can upgrade the size of the
Oh.
blast, and then you can upgrade like the amount of ink it uses to reduce it. By the time I got to the final boss, I'm firing at the boss and it's going so
Yeah,
rapid. I was laughing out loud. It was so insanely
that's cool.
powerful. And I had such a blast. And yes, so I beat side order with every weapon. I unlocked all the lockers. I got so addicted to this game. I think I beat it with 4 different weapons in one day. Side order is incredible. It is a great
So,
roguelike. It is,
would I
is the
like this?
perfect. I don't know.
I mean, I liked Splatoon. I'm
You
just
like
not good at
Splatoon.
it. But if it's
This
this
is a
roguelite concept that
it's
I mean,
so funny.
I'm not gonna unlock everything, let's be honest. But what I mean, I would
You
play
might.
until maybe I beat it once or twice.
I did not think I was going to try to do everything. I was like, this is insane. No way. And I was playing this at the same time as Tower of Doom, and I actually thought I liked Tower of Doom better until I realized it was like a fake roguelike.
Yeah.
This is such a great roguelike because when you start, you feel like, oh, this is so hard. And it's just everything's harder. And then you unlock the ability to make all the enemies a little weaker in the first 10 levels, and then it helps you.
Oh.
And then by the end of the game, you're picking up a new weapon and you're just flying through these levels. And I was doing more of the hard levels. And it's like by the end, you feel so powerful. And it's so good. And there's so many upgrades that will upgrade your run. Like you can get more double chips, which give you twice the upgrades. And
Mhm.
I had
Maybe
a blast. And when I
I'll
finished
try
it
it.
all, I'm done with it. Like I finished it all. My son is still playing it. Dylan's still playing it, even though they kind of did everything. I'm done with it, like completely. I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm done. But it is fantastic. It is really fantastic.
So
it's a
this
good
is
time.
completely separate. Even if you beat it all, whatever, there's nothing that transfers over to the original. The you don't.
No, you do win like some outfits that you can wear.
Oh, that's
in
cool, though.
Splatoon. Yeah. And if I played Splatoon, I mean, I go back to the salmon run. I love the salmon run mode. But I mean, would I say this is a U game? I don't know. It is roguelike, and it's a great roguelike. It does this roguelike Doom thing, Doom
Yeah,
Tower
yeah.
thing, so much better than Mario and Rabbids. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was
Maybe I'll.
one of the best Switch
How much
games of
is
the
it? It's
year.
like $20.
I think it's $25. You get both waves of the deal. The first
Yeah.
wave is like just
Yeah.
Splatoon 1 city. This is worth it for $25. I don't know how many hours I played because it combines it with Splatoon 3.
Oh, okay.
I got engrossed with it. I could not stop playing it for like 3
Let's see.
days. I was completely
see.
addicted to it.
Oh.
It's a good time. So I would recommend that one for sure. I think it's going to be one of Nintendo's best releases of the year.
Wow.
I hope they do more with it in the future. That was
That's
fantastic.
perfect. It says, spoiler alert, how long? I'm going to tell you how long it says. It takes like 4.5 hours to beat it. You think that's right?
No.
You think it's more than that?
Uh,
Just one run. Beat it one time.
I mean, it depends how good you are. I'm not great.
I'm not great at it either.
Splatoon. I think about it as doing everything. You will unlock one final palette right at the end. So once you've unlocked all of the locker doors, the last locker door has a new palette, and it has a twist to it. I won't say what it is.
Okay.
And it took me a couple tries with that one.
I don't know if I'd go that in depth unless I got obsessed with it, but it sounds like I'd give it a go.
I would say this: if you don't think you're going to do it with all the palettes, don't play it at all, because I think the game gets more fun as you're getting better at it, and you're starting to get a feel for all the different levels.
You're using different guns,
and you're using different weapons that you don't even want to use, but then you realize you can upgrade them in such crazy ways. But I also say, if you think you would only do it with one palette, I think you'd be wrong. I think once you finished it, you'd want to keep going. So I wouldn't. I think you're lying. Not lying. I think you think you might only want to do one run, but you would be wrong.
Listen,
you'll
this is my thoughts right now. I have this option. I have Rayman Legends. You're selling me on, and I still want to play Hogwarts. So I mean, if out of those three, what do you pick?
I would not play Hogwarts on Switch, honestly, but you're different than me. Like I've seen that version and it's gross. Rayman Legends is fantastic. It is one of the greatest platformers ever made. I feel like you do need to play it. And then you played the Unicorn Overlord demo, right?
I do. I want to talk about that quickly. So
okay,
I did play. Did you play it at all?
I played the demo for like 35 minutes. I'm completely sold. It's probably going to be the next game I play.
So I probably only played it for an hour, not even.
Okay.
it's I didn't
It's not.
realize Mole was saying it's like 8-hour demo if you want it to be.
It's because it's not a demo. It's like you can play for a long period of time.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here's my problem. I understand a lot of these story driven games. The story I'm sold on. It's almost like this Game of Thrones type style story, right? I love it. It's simple, but I love it.
Mhm.
The game looks awesome. I love how it just, even on the Switch, looks fantastic.
The lightning effects.
All of it. I just love how the transitions of going back to these like overworld to like cutscenes to this battle. It's love it.
Mhm.
Everything about even like the menus and how it's played and the voice acting. Again, love it. And again, I only played it for an hour, so I can't really say much, but I feel like the battle system is a not Drew game. Like
It's not. It's
it's
not a
all
true game.
about setting up your battles beforehand and how they attack. And you know me better than anyone, John. That's not a game for me. It's almost like it's just I hate to say it, like a push A, and people are gonna hate me for saying this. It's almost like a push A and watch the story unfold and just trying to watch the game, like a narrative game almost, rather than an actiony type game. I wish there was some other battle. I wish it was either turn-based battle system. I would do it. I wish it was something. And I get what they were trying to do. There's a little bit, it's unique and it's a whole different style, but I think I'm going to have to pass on it, which is sad because the game looks awesome.
Yeah, when I saw you were playing the demo, I was like, this is just not a Drew game. You don't usually play these kinds of games.
Yeah.
It does. It's weird because you'll have these like mobs and they'll just auto battle. But if you think about it, that's what Fire Emblem is, for example, except it's one person.
Yeah.
This is very similar, but I totally get it. I was totally into it. I thought the story was interesting and everything about it is interesting. I was actually kind of hoping maybe when I grab it physical, it'll be on sale, but I had to wait for Pepper Grinder. I did not think I'd be done with Pepper Grinder already.
Nope.
But I'm going to be starting Unicorn Overlord this week.
That's awesome. A little jealous. Last game I really want to just mention really quickly. Evan is continuing to dominate NBA 2K24. They did a big update and they added this really cool feature I just wanted to share with. So when you log in, it's called NBA Today. And every NBA game that is happening today, you can play it. So it's like a scoreboard section and it shows like the scores from yesterday's or this week's games. And then games that are today, you can click the game and let's say it's the Celtics versus the Lakers. And it's whatever jerseys they're going to wear that night, whatever stadium or court it's going to be in, it's at that location. And then if people are injured, like they're not playing. It's a really cool, simple feature. Because Evan always used to try to like go on and mimic like last night's game. Like I want to play with these jerseys or, and it's perfect. It's simple. It's easy. And it's just like, oh, who's playing tonight? And then, I'm going to play that game. So pretty cool. Thought it was pretty nifty. Simple.
Yeah, that's cool. And it probably gets you interested in the games because you're like, okay, like I got my result. I want to see what their score result was and see how close that was.
Or like if the Celtics lose, I was like, I want revenge. And then he can play, he'll replay it.
Yeah.
So that's it, though. Sweet. A lot of games this week for me. Anything else you've been chugging through?
No, I'm still playing through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm on Chapter 10. I'm going to try to get to Chapter 11 tonight.
Ooh,
and
nice.
Still playing Helldivers 2.
Oh, good for you.
Still loving that one. I'm mostly just doing like the dailies, getting my medals, buying some catalogs. I'm starting to max out. I've maxed out my Republic points. I've maxed out my simple samples. I'm getting close to maxing out my rare samples. I finished the 3rd War Bond. But I'm actually enjoying it more because I'm like finishing things off and maxing and stuff like that. But I kind of suck at it right now. Like today I was playing. So the personal order today was to do 6 side objectives. And I just get into a level and I'm just running to a side objective. I don't care about anything. I just want to get the side objective done. And I'm getting myself killed because I'm running away from my crew. I'm seeing an enemy that normally I should be careful with and get some cover, but I just run at them and throw things and I die. I'm just terrible right now because I don't really have that much to play for. So I'm looking forward to getting a breath and maybe getting some stratagems or whatever and something I can spend my money on. But it's still I think I'm about like 135 hours in now, but it's definitely slowed down a lot. I'm dying to get through Rebirth though, because I'm dying to play something new. I've been on that game the entire month of March. But I'm going to get through it.
Nice.
All
Nice.
right, let's talk some Manscaped, and then we got a lot of episode 200 content to cover.
Woot woot. This episode is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions Manscaped. This season, make sure to groom your carpets and drapes with the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Clear out that winter bush with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0 and watch your confidence bloom like the springtime flowers. Embrace the season and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com and use the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping.
Woot.
Woot.
All right. We've got a lot to go through. First, if you want to join the Dads After Dark Show Discord channels, you got to do that by going through the Nintendo Dads Discord. Send us an email. Send us whatever. Are we still doing our email?
Can we just put it in the show notes? We have a direct link. Didn't Tim make us one?
Yeah, I guess so. Check the show notes. You can find us on Threads and Dads After Dark. Listen to Sadie at the end. She'll tell you how to contact us.
Yeah,
we can send you a link to get access to the Dads After Dark channels. You can participate in monthly mayhem, all of that fun stuff. Drew, we have an Apple review contest we've been doing through the month of March. Why don't you talk us through this one?
Yeah, March is over. March is done. This is it. It's wrapped up. John, we had 27 people write us an Apple review.
Nice.
I mean, thank you. That's fucking awesome.
We
Thank
shot
you.
up the search as well.
You know what was even better, John? They were all 5 stars. And I'm going to even emphasize even more. 14 of those 27 reviews were brand new listeners that came out and told us, hey, this is awesome. We love your guys' show, that never previously reviewed the podcast, right? So 27, that means 13 of you were guys that just listen to us every month and month. Thank you. We appreciate that. Or previously gave us a review, but absolutely, we love it. I only saw one Canadian review. The rest of us was in the United States. If we missed you, I'm sorry. I'll have to tell you, I tried my best. So, John, we did the review. The rules were give us a review and you have a chance to win how much money?
$70 Wario eShop card.
Woo, 7. That's a lot of money.
Putting an informant out of work.
7. No, I don't know about that. $70, right? The one little extra bonus caveat is John and I are gonna pick our favorite reviews, and then that person gets an extra lottery ball. So someone's gonna have double the chances of winning. The rest of you guys, the 27 of you, are just going to be tossing the balls up in the air like that scene from Jingle All the Way.
Toss some balls. Last time we had this contest, we never got in touch with one of the winners. I am hoping this time we will. Some of them we know who they are. Some of them we don't know who they are. So hopefully they're listening to the show if they win. Yeah. And they can contact us and make sure.
You know what I also loved? If you read the reviews, there was like 4 of them from women. We got women listeners, right? There was a few of them women. From women. I do want to just run through. I listed a few of them that were kind of like my favorite. And I'm going to give my bonus pick, and then hopefully you have your bonus pick ready to go, John. But some of my favorite from people that we've never heard from before, which is fantastic. Fox Coffee says, Nintendo Zen. This is my weekend morning coffee Zen podcast. Keep up the fun podcast, Drew and John. Yeah, that's what I like. I like, have a cup of coffee and someone's just relaxing every morning listening to us. A Sizzle Z says, the New Man Show. God, that was a great show. While these guys are a hoot, I've been into gaming for a long time, but I'm new to the podcast scene. But I decided to give this show a try, and now I'm hooked. I haven't laughed this hard since the original Man Show with Jimmy Kimmel.
That was wow, that was so long ago now, right?
Girls jumping on trampolines. Remember that?
I didn't watch it a ton, but man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. 2 more I want to read. Well, 3 more, because I'll do my pitch as well. Buddy says, not bad. I'm not really into video games, but I tune in each week for the opening joke and banter. Hey, I respect that. I respect the honesty. And then Ro Burritos from Canada gives us a 10 out of 10. Aye. Awesome podcast. I listen to them while doing work around the house and driving to work. Drew and John are great together. And when the 4 horsemen are all together, it's next level. Keep up the good work, guys.
Plus levels.
And my last one I'm going to read off. And my pick, my bonus pick. I'm going to read it first, and I'll tell you who it was from.
Okay.
They wrote, terrific. I was just at Pat's East. That's where I was. And I found a business card. I left those there for this podcast. Seems a little catered towards men.
You
Maybe
think?
this is the woman, but it's kind of humor. Is a great show. So, quick background, right? I told John I was going to make business cards with a QR code of our podcast and just a little bit about, and literally just put them everywhere. So what I did was, John, I put these everywhere. Just fucked, like when we were in that barcade, I would put them on the thermostat. I would put them on the arcade cabinets after I walked away. They were just everywhere. That was just, I wanted people just to find them. And when I saw this review, I said, I instantly texted Kuzi and Hambo, and I said, this was one of you. Like, you guys are just, they're like, I swear to God, not me. So the fact that not only did the little business card work, it actually got someone to write a review for us.
I know that's
who would have thought? So
I did love that one. And I love the name Suddenly Snoozin'.
Suddenly Snoozin' is Drew's pick, which means Suddenly Snoozin' is getting two balls for the drawing.
Nice.
John, do you have a bonus pick for anybody here?
I'm glad you didn't pick mine. Mine came from T-Man 0423. Great podcast. Love listening to these guys talk about Nintendo and dad stuff on the drive to and from work. Their voices sound like if Morgan Freeman and David Attenborough had a baby. Really gets you hyped up and not in a gay way. Is one of us Morgan Freeman? And if so, which one?
Certainly not me.
Okay.
Unless it's Morgan Freeman with a Boston accent.
And who's David Attenborough? I've heard the name, but it escapes me who that is.
You said this was T-Man 0423?
0423. Yeah, okay. So this is the British
Give him
guy.
his bonus ball.
I'll have to listen to David Attenborough. I don't know if we sound like David Attenborough or Morgan Freeman at all. David Attenborough is 97 years old.
Wow. All right.
Amazing.
So I got your bonus pitch in there. So we have 30 people now. 30 balls. Do you want to do the drawing?
Balls.
Random
yeah,
drawing?
I can do it. We're just doing 1 through 30 here.
1 through 30. I already gave. Yep. So Suddenly Snoozin' has 2, 21 and 22. And then T-Man has 28 and 29. Yep.
4, 5. Got to tap it 10 times.
Got it. That's how it goes.
8.
You should
9.
do 70 for Wario.
And here it is. The winning number 25. Who is it?
Jedi Platypus.
Is
that like
Darth Platypus?
Does he have like a code name?
Could be. I don't know. Jedi Platypus. If you're out there, if you heard it, just contact us. You can send us an email. You can go to Threads. You can go to Discord. Just kind of show us that you're Jedi Platypus.
Yeah, prove it to us.
And you get a $70 Wario eShop card. Congratulations.
Well, see how easy it is?
So easy.
It's easy.
And thanks, everybody. It really helps us. It gets us up in the search.
It did. It actually did significantly.
Yeah. So, we bring you a free show. All we ask for is a review now and again. It's fantastic.
It's easy enough.
Speaking of giving away money, we do our monthly Mayhems. And this past month, we've been playing Balatro. Now, we had 3 contests, 3 separate contests going on for Balatro. Most deck stake wins. So these are unique wins and unique challenges with unique decks.
Mm-hmm.
Most Joker stickers, which is at the end of every game, every run that you win, you get a sticker that says you won that game with that Joker. And then highest round in a run. After you get through all 8 antes, you can keep going in endless mode, and it gets insane. I mean, the scoring you have to do is absurd. So highest round in a run. And after 3 weeks of competition, I am in shock and awe because at the beginning of this contest, we all thought, Hambone Johnny's got this. Hambone Johnny, I love it. Hambone Johnny has this. He had been playing the most.
He knew the most. He understood the game better than I did. I'll admit that.
He was the first one that I heard about this game from as well. And Shatsworth 7, like a rocket, fired out of a cannon, fired off a trampoline, destroyed everybody, and it was amazing. It was like a god at work. Deck stake wins. Shatsworth 7 with 59 that's not just total wins. That is unique decks and particular challenge levels, like ascension levels. The next person was Hambone Johnny with 21.
Which was still impressive. It blew everybody out of the water.
I know, and in 21 blew out of the water, but Shatsworth had almost 3 times as many. Joker stickers. Hambone Johnny, second place, 133. Shatsworth 7, 398. Highest rounds in a run. This was actually one of the more competitive contests for a while. Neoprime 33 had 30. I mean, that was like insane. What a great run. Darth Platypus recently put up 31. And for a page of scrolling, he had the lead. Shatsworth 7 with 36. Now, 5 doesn't sound like a lot. 5 rounds in the highest round in a run is a long way because the scoring is insane in that. Shatsworth 7 won all 3 categories. And for this contest, we said you can win more than one. But only if there was a tie, then you would lose a tiebreaker to somebody who hadn't won something. Shatsworth 7 swept all 3. Earned $30. But you know what? He impressed me so much, I gave him a $35 eShop card.
Who's on that one?
Princess Peach.
Oh, Princess Peach.
Yeah, we had never given out. And it's such a weird number. I think it's because for like $30 games. But I gave him the Princess Peach card. That's
amazing.
Amazing. And when I gave him his card already, I asked him some questions. So this is a little Discord interview, and I just want to share a couple of these.
I hope you asked how many hours he had.
How many hours have you played? 130 hours.
Oh my God.
He said he played 30 hours of golf in it, and that felt like a lot. This was ridiculous. I'm pretty sure Shatsworth was playing for like 10 hours a day.
I'll tell you what, I don't think you could pay me $35 to play that game for 130 hours. And I tell you right now, I definitely wouldn't get those scores.
I mean, that is insane. I said, how easy did it become to win runs towards the end? Or were you still losing a good share? Because, like, side order, I got really good at the end and I was just flying through things. But, like, in Balatro, because I didn't get a win in Balatro for, like, over a week and a half. Yeah. I couldn't improve my score for a week and a half.
I hear you.
Everything through Black Stake felt pretty reasonable. If I made it past Ante 3, I'd have a good shot at a win. Orange Stake was difficult to the point of it not being much fun, though, and I didn't even attempt Gold Stake. So the higher you get, it's like the Ascension levels, the higher you get with a deck, the harder it gets. And that's what he's talking about with the Orange Stake and the Black Stake and all that. Some of the decks were a little different, too, because I was trying to just do the first stake in each of the decks. And I think it was the green deck where you get more money.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that would be great because I was just buying cards all the time. Yeah. And I could not get a win with that deck. Last question was, what were your most successful deck strategies? I mean, honestly, this is just a question to be like, help me, please help me get better. As for strategies, flushes and straights will get me through the first 4 to 5 rounds while I build up some money and try to find a decent joker or two. Then I'll lean into what deck I'm playing and what jokers I have and try to build around that. So he goes, for example, a lot of my really broken runs, broken being a good thing. This is video game parlance. Some of my really broken runs were on blue deck, which gives you 1 extra hand each round. With blue, I want to play a lot of pairs or high cards. Half Joker, plus 20 Molt for playing 3 cards or less, and Card Sharp, plus 3. I see he's so good, I'm like losing him now. Plus ×3 multi if you've already played this hand. Those are staples. That is a good one, actually.
So you should just do high card and you get so many bonuses off of that.
Yeah, you're doing high card.
Less than 3, replayed the card already.
Yeah, you get the multipliers.
It just has multiple aces. I see what he's saying. I don't even think that way in this game.
Right. You want to make sure that your high card is your most common card all the time.
Yep.
Favorite combo lately is Vagabond. Generates a tarot card when you play a hand while having $3 or less. And Burglar, no discards, plus 3 hands per round. Super fun. Just a constant stream of tarot cards every round. Tim wants a Balatro workshop in Discord. I'll see what I can do. If nothing else, I'm happy to answer questions or give advice if anyone is stuck or struggling. Congrats on episode 200. You guys are the best.
Wow.
it really is a funny game because even though it's poker, like I said, by the end, you're like intentionally
poker.
like you could
Yeah.
literally play a royal flush, and that's the dumbest strategy possible. You should
Because
play a
no
high
one's
card.
well, the odds of getting a royal flush is so low that like nobody's wasting their power ups or planet cards on royal
Right.
flushes. It's like, why do that?
Right. So playing an ace could be a million times better than a royal flush. So
Yeah.
it is pokery, but it's also not pokery.
I almost want to go back and try that and just focus on like a high card concept and see how far you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'm not doing that.
That was a fun run. Honestly, I enjoyed Balatro. Not my favorite roguelike, but I enjoyed it, and I'll probably still go back to it from time to time. But that was a fun one. That was a perfect Mayhem game.
It was. We'll have to talk offline for what we want to do for our next one now.
Okay. So we have a lot to get through. We have a lot of your questions. We've got a few things we're going to be doing for episode 200 right now, and we're going to kick that off with something that's completely not episode 200 related, but your visit to PAX East, and you have a bunch of games that you want to let's quickly talk about.
Quickly, nothing too crazy. Just I played these games. I waited in line for these games. None of them I don't believe are on the Switch yet, but a lot of them said they were coming to the Switch. So with that being said, I want to, John, look these up as we talk through them. The first one is called the Big Boy Botson. John, this is our game. This is Punch Out ripped off to a different level. It's the same as that thing, except it has this more cartoony-ish type art style, which is awesome. This is a fantastic game. It's a tricky game. It's a pattern game. It's Big Boy Botson. It's gonna be fun. It's on Steam. This is definitely coming to the Switch. I think the guy said October, but it seems really far away. We don't have a date, but I think look for the fall for this game.
I've seen this game before, and I've had my eye on it. It looks it's totally Punch Out. Yeah, love it.
This next game was possibly one of my favorite games. It's called Tape to Tape, John. This is a hockey game, and it's just fantastic. The way it is, it's like old school, like ice hockey. Oh, not ice hockey. What was It's like a
Hit the Ice. No,
ice. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. A little bit more hockey than Hit the Ice, but it was just an awesome concept. The teams are awesome. There's a team that you can play. You're all soccer players, and you don't have any sticks. You just kick the puck around, and it's just you get power ups, and you can use power ups against the other players. If it goes to a tie, there's an option if you just say, I want to just go to a fight, and then whoever wins the fight wins the game. Mm-hmm. They're introducing a update to the game that's going to have a golf team, which you use golf clubs. They're also going to have what they call a roguelite mode, which has like a story mode, a roguelite.
You're starting to win me over now. You're starting to win me over.
It's more than just hockey, but the hockey was a lot of fun.
Oh my God, there's a mode where you play with a team of refs.
Yes, it's crazy fun. The game is awesome. I don't know if it'll be online. I played against Cruz. We played right in person. It was trash talk. It was fun. But this game, keep an eye out for it.
It looks really good. It's very smooth. I'm sure the Switch won't be able to do this, but like it looks really smooth. And I love the view of it because it kind of scrolls down and you can kind of see the fans.
Yep.
And it's like there's some really goofy stuff going on every little segment. It is.
And I think that's what made it so much fun. Tape to Tape. It's just look for it. Look it up. It's gonna be awesome. The next one is by the same company, John. It's called Athena Crisis. Think Wargroove Advance Wars with like Super Mario World 3 overworld field. It's kind of like a 16-bit type Wargroove Advance Wars. It's something unique about it. You can see it right away, but it's different art style. I didn't have a chance to play this one, but I did watch other people playing it. It looks fun. If you like that style of games, this is going to be another one to keep an eye out.
I'm looking at it. You're right. It looks like Wargroove Advance Wars. I'm out on this one. I've done too much of it. I'm out. But yeah, I definitely agree. That's what it looks like.
This next one I don't believe is coming to the Switch, but this might be one for you, John, on PlayStation.
Why the fuck are we talking about it?
I know, because I thought of you, and we played it. So it's called Hellskate. Think of Tony Hawk with a sword, and it's a battle mechanic while you're doing skateboard and tricks. And I
Mhm.
think it's like something to do with, I don't know if you're trying to like go into hell or you're a devil. I don't really remember, but interesting concept. Never really seen something like this. It looked super good, super smooth. I watched Tuzi play it. I watched Tambone play it. Hell State. Keep an eye out for that one. That's all I'm going to talk about that because it's not Nintendo.
I suck at skating games. I'm out. Keep going.
Below the Stone. If you think Dwarf was the game of the year,
I'm
then
out.
the next game coming up is Below the Stone for you. You are like this dwarf in like a mine, and you're mining
What
slash
is this?
combat.
It's like
Dwarf.
invisible. It's all dark.
It's fucking
Who
Dwarf
wants to play
2.0.
in the game? Those are the worst levels in games, and this whole game is in the dark.
Listen, this game is great. It's that top-down style. You're in caves, you're mining for gems, you're upgrading your stuff, you're battling guys. Below the Stone.
I'm so depressed just watching it. I can't. The whole game is like that.
Yeah,
All right.
you know it. All right, next one. Quest Master. Think Link to the Past style graphics for Super Nintendo, but this is the Zelda dungeon maker you want. You can build dungeons, but the cool part that I like about this game is it's co-op, John. You can play with multiple people at a time. I believe it might be couch co-op only, but the game looks great. It looks fantastic. It's literally a rip-off with a little bit better graphics than Link to the Past. This should also be coming to the Switch, and I'd say keep an eye out for this one. This one looks pretty cool.
This one looks pretty good. I will say, be careful if you're looking this up. There is another game called Questmaster Sword and Circuitry. That is not what you're talking about.
That's not
it. Is just Questmaster. Yeah, it looks like a vibrant Legend of Zelda, like the third game. Yeah, this looks good.
Yep. The last one we waited in line for quite a long time is called the Extremely Powerful Capybaras. This is a ripoff of Vampire Survivors. Except you're a capybara. And it was fun. We sat there, we played this this is a 4-person co-op type game, which was cool. But it's essentially Vampire Survivors. I don't really get into the details of it. I don't know if this is already out on the Switch for some weird reason. I thought they said that, but I did not find it when I looked it up on the Switch. So
okay.
It might be coming to the Switch. I think maybe, maybe then I think about maybe he said soon, but he couldn't tell us, which was a little odd. Maybe there's like an indie showcase in the next few months.
Yeah.
But
I will say I'm not a Vampire Survivors fan because I just don't like the vibe of it all. This one's much more colorful and vibrant. Looks like more fun. Like your kids might enjoy this, but it's very colorful.
To be honest,
and
I could see you playing this with your family.
Yeah,
This is it's fun. It was good. It was solid. Yeah. So extremely powerful capybaras.
Very nice.
Keep an eye out for that one. So again, these were just some of the games I played that I wanted to share. I thought they were interesting. That I at least was looking forward to, and add them to your list. And I'll keep an eye on them, and I'll talk about them in the future if I see any dates on them. But
nice.
That's all I wanted to share.
Very nice. Very good. Our correspondent has come through. When we decided to do this episode 200, and we knew we were going to get into kind of like some of the past, I decided to listen to our first episode. Now, we have a very unique first episode. Most first episodes for shows are lousy. People have poor equipment. It takes a few, we had done, it's almost crazy. It's like not even in our lifetime. We had done monthly mayhem videos that we would post on YouTube under the Nintendo Dads channel that would talk about, advertise monthly mayhem. We'd announce our winners, and then we'd review the game. When we started doing this podcast, it became audio only, which was great because editing video sucks. It's like way more storage and way more time. So our first episode is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Actually, we've upgraded and we've gotten smoother, but like the first episode's actually pretty good. And I grabbed a few, not audio clips, but just I made a few notes of things we talked about. Now, we did our first episode back in January of 2020. And so this is right before COVID when we started our show. Now, at the time, so here's some of the stuff that I heard when I played through the first, and you've listened to this too, but at the time you had a 3 and a 5-year-old, and your big complaint was they don't take naps anymore.
Oh, brutal.
Doesn't 3 and 5-year-olds sound quaint? Because your kids are now 7 and 9.
It'll be 10. Yeah. So almost 5 years ago.
3 and 5. I mean, I'm exhausted just thinking about
Just
3 and
thinking, you're
5.
right. It gets easier. It does get easier. You just play Taxi Driver. That's all you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Which is okay with you have a Switch.
The first few minutes of our show, I said, we are in a Nintendo Switch drought. We're just waiting for Animal Crossing at this point. Now, I did not know Animal Crossing would usher in the COVID era. But yes, even in
True.
January of 2020, Nintendo Switch was in a drought. Now, droughts were, in the video gaming world, were more common in January, February. These days, that does not seem to be the case at all. I think game companies have figured out it's actually a great time to put out a really good game. But this is definitely a drought time, a backlog era when we started our show. When we played games and we talked about the games we've been playing, I was playing Thumper, which is insane. Makes sense, though, because I remember I was playing it on the train to work.
I remember that.
And I didn't take the train to work very long before COVID hit and shut down the office. The game you were talking about was The Witcher 3.
Of course.
And you were, I think, did I play this game before you, or did you play this before me? I can't even remember.
Ooh.
I think we played it at the same time when it came out. I think we both jumped on it on Switch.
I think so, too. And then you blew by me, I feel like.
Yeah, you were 17 hours in at the time. And you said you had started watching the Netflix show with your wife, which at first I was like, no way, really? Like, but that show has been around for a good, decent time now.
Now they have 3 seasons out, right?
Yeah, and then they're about to have the new Witcher come in.
That's right.
The first topic that we introduced, and we introduced it with a Mario music that I don't remember ever putting in. If you remember, in the early days of our podcast, I would sometimes use music from games, and we would use different music.
Yeah,
we stopped doing that because Jesse would post these to YouTube, and it would cause YouTube strikes, and it would make parts of the show quiet and whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use our music, and that's it. But in the early days, I actually did use, like, if I was playing a game, I would put that music into the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about a rumor that Nintendo was going to be bringing more Wii U ports to the Switch this year. They said 2 more Wii U ports to the Switch this year. And you and I took some guesses.
Oh, boy.
As to what those Wii U ports would be. And the guesses we came up with were Super Mario 3D World. And that wasn't true because that didn't come out till 2021. You remember that came out with Bowser's Fury.
Mm-hmm.
You were asking for Batman Arkham games.
I was?
Yeah, you were interested in the Arkham games.
That's weird.
I can't remember if you said you had played them or hadn't played them.
I've never played them.
Okay. So those didn't come until 2023, and then they did come out, and then you didn't play them.
No interest. I can't believe I ever had interest then.
You mentioned Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah, I still want that.
That didn't happen. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Me either.
I talked about maybe Nintendo Land.
Okay.
I talked about Bayonetta 2. We talked about maybe a new Mario Kart or a new Super Mario Odyssey, which sounds really adorable considering 4 years later we still don't have either of those. At the time, the Switch had sold 50 million. It's now at 130 million? Pretty insane. And then we talked about some games that were going to be coming up. Tokyo Mirage Sessions was about to come out, so that was pretty cool. And we had gotten the teaser for Tears of the Kingdom. We didn't know what the title was at the time.
Yeah.
And E3 was coming up. It was January, so E3 was going to be coming up that June. Little did we know there would be no E3, that we had already seen the last E3. And we were hoping for Breath of the Wild 2 to be displayed. Obviously, it wasn't. It is crazy to think that the first teaser for Tears of the Kingdom was summer of 2019.
Wow. That's
Isn't that crazy? And the game didn't come out until 2023, right? May 2023. So, long time coming.
I mean, that's almost been off for a year. Think of it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's nuts.
That is nuts. So that was our first episode, and now 200 episodes later, Nintendo Switch is in a drought. To celebrate our 200th episode, Drew, I put together my list of the top 200 games on the Nintendo Switch. If you have ever wanted a top 200 list on the Switch, I have it.
John made it.
I made it. This list is based on the game has to be on the Nintendo Switch. It doesn't have to be exclusive or anything like that. I basically went through my entire collection and wrote down every single game that I had played. And I ended up with like 236 games or something.
That's how many. That's it.
And
I
so
don't. I mean,
then
that's a lot. Don't get me wrong.
it
But
is.
I mean, it's
Then I
like
had
50 games a year.
I started to loosely organize them, and then I got to like eliminate like 36 of them, like games that were like, no way this is gonna be on my list. This game's garbage. No way I'm gonna play that.
Did Ages of? Well, you know what? Don't. I want to. I don't. We'll get there.
And then ranking them is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. It is not easy.
Well, it's hard. But like, what's the difference between 137 and 138?
It is
like,
hard. The best way to do it was to group them out into like games I absolutely love, games I don't really love, and then
sure
sort those and then sort them all into one. I'm not going to read this whole list. I'm going to post it on Discord, social media over the next week or two. Is there anything you want to hear now, though, for the show? Are you interested in like?
I do want to know if Ages of Mages was on the list.
Ages of Mages did not make the list.
Wait, you're telling me you've only played 230 something Nintendo games, and that Ages of Mages is in that 36 bucket?
I mean, it's probably the bottom of the 36 bucket. Yeah.
You know what? I don't even know if I played 200 games, but it would be on there. You know what? As much as I hated Pine would be on that list.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do.
Pine
is not on my list. This is an extremely personal list.
Yeah.
This is an extremely personal list. Is not going to have. There are some games that are low on this list. Let me look really low in this list that you'd be like, what? Like this game's low on the list. Let me see.
Can I try to guess some of your top 10?
Yes.
All right. I want to know if Wild Hearts is in the top 10.
It's absolutely in the top 10.
What number is it?
Number 4.
Life is Strange. It's got to be up there.
Absolutely in the top 10.
What is it?
Number 2.
Into the Breach.
Absolutely in the top 10.
I'm killing it. What number is that?
My top 10 is out there. Number 3. So you just named my 2, 3, and 4.
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
So Fire Emblem Three Houses was tough. Because Fire Emblem Engage is very good. Fire Emblem Three Houses is number 20.
Is Engage better than that?
No, Engage is below Three Houses. Yeah.
What else was some of your? I'm the obvious ones like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. I think you liked better, but I could be wrong. Was Breath of the Wild number 1?
No, Breath of the Wild is number 6. Tears of the Kingdom is number 1.
Wow.
Yeah,
I just named like your top 5 or 6. I'm killing it.
You did. You should know these though.
I know. Was Wonder up there?
No. Wonder was tricky.
Odyssey's up there though, top 10.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses is my number 20. Dead Cells got number 19.
Wow.
Super Mario Odyssey got 18. Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got 17. Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, I think if you gave me 16. Long enough, I would have guessed that one.
Mm-hmm. Number 15 was Hades.
Yep.
14 is Bayonetta 2, still hanging in there. Bayonetta 2 used to be my number 1. In fact, when we started the show, I said on the show that is still my number 1 game of all time.
Wow.
So in the span of this podcast, 13 games came out that I think are better. And that's just on
crazy.
Switch.
Yeah,
that's just on
crazy.
Switch. I'd put Last of Us ahead of Bayonetta 2 and all that. Number 13, just ahead of Bayonetta 2. You ready?
Yep.
Untitled Goose Game.
Wow. I mean, I enjoyed that game. I love it's top 20.
Oh, it's fantastic.
My son, I was looking at my Switch and he's like, oh, the Goose Game. I love that. He goes, they should make a sequel and call it the Duck Game. I'm all for it.
They did make a duck game, different game.
Yes.
The people that made Untitled Goose Game, that the trailer for their new game is not anything close to what the Goose Game was. Weird. Number 12, Life is Strange True Colors. Number 11, Portal 2. A game that I just played in the last year. Fantastic.
That's on my wish list, by the way, for you.
That would be a good game to pick up. Number 10, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Just amazing. Number 9, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Number 8,
Oh, yes.
Celeste. Number 7, Ori and the Blind Forest.
Those games are so fucking good.
So good. Number 6, Breath of the Wild. Number 5, the only one you didn't name, but you could probably figure it out, Slay the Spire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then Sayonara Wild Hearts, Into the Breach, Life is Strange, Arcadia Bay Collection, and then number 1, Tears of the Kingdom.
I'll definitely take a look at your list when you post it, though. I'm curious to see where some of them will sit. I think this is going to be more fun. Like, is there any shockers like this game was 80th when a lot of people love it? Like, did you have any shockers in there?
It's tough. So I will say Pepper Grinder has made this list.
Okay.
It is number 96.
Okay.
Shockers?
I can't believe you didn't put Ages and Mages on there, you bastard. The amount of fun we had.
You know, I put a game pretty high. Rain on Your Parade is number 52, one spot ahead of Pikmin 3 Deluxe.
Wow.
I'm sure Dylan's screaming his head off right now.
Pikmin 4 on there?
Pikmin 4 is on there. I put it behind Pikmin 3.
A lot of people
Pikmin
say that.
4,
I'm excited to play 3.
Pikmin 4 is number 85. It is sandwiched between Bug Fables and Rogue Legacy 2.
Wow. Where'd you put Wonder?
Wonder is fairly high, but maybe not as high as you would think. It is number 25.
No, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other big first party games like? What about like Link's Awakening or anything like that? Was that was good.
Link's Awakening? I love Link's Awakening.
Me too.
That was number 46.
You didn't love it that much.
Yeah, it's one spot ahead of Dragon Quest 11. That was a tough one. What did you like better?
I liked that game.
I know.
Well, I mean, Link's Awakening is legit my number 1 favorite Zelda game of all time. So it's hard to say that, but I really enjoy Dragon Quest 11, especially being my first Dragon Quest game.
Yeah. I just edged out. You know why? Because I could play Link's Awakening again.
Agreed.
I don't think I could play through Dragon Quest 11.
It's too long. That's the game I agree.
Yeah. Number 200 on the list is Duck Game.
Is that the one that I played too?
I think we did play Duck. That's the one where it's like you just go in, you battle,
yeah,
you get some points, and then you're done.
Speaking of that, one of the games they had, I'm sorry to sidetrack this, at that barcade we went to was Killer Queen B. Is that what it's called?
Killer Queen Black.
That game is fucking fantastic. And it was even better in person. They had the arcade cabinet, which was huge, massive, and it's back to back. So you're playing against other people on the other side of the cabinet. So you're like trash talking, you can't see their faces, but you're yelling at them. And it's like 5 versus 5. It was awesome. It was so much fun to play that in person.
Yeah, it was a really popular arcade machine and people were excited for it. That's the one they cut off the servers so quick. You can't play online.
I know, it's a shame.
Yeah, that's a really fun game. Yeah, I have Rayman Legends on here. It's number 76. Yeah, there's some little, there's got some indie games. There's definitely some. Balatro was 108. There's a lot of surprising ones down here. So Switch Sports 126. So I'm going to post this one
nice.
Out there, and yeah, it was tough, but it was a fun list to make.
That seems like it's exhausting. It's a lot of work.
It was pretty exhausting. It was for a few days I didn't even touch it, and then I started breaking into it. A lot of like looking at this game, move it up, and then you're like, let's see, do I like The Messenger better than Night Trap? You know, like that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm sorting games that I honestly didn't really love.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was tricky. So I'll post that in the Discord. I'll post it on Threads. Look forward to that one. You've got some trivia.
I have some trivia, but before we do the trivia, I actually have a few other little nostalgia moments myself. So, a few things. I went back and listened to a lot of episodes, but I got to ask you. So, back in episode in 49, summer of 2021, I asked you a question. I'm going to ask you the same question because I want to know if our knowledge has grown. But the question I asked you was, why do men called Richard have a nickname of Dick? and I still can't fathom why anybody would want to be called Dick. And I don't know if you have maybe discovered this knowledge in the last 3 years of why people are called Dick.
I don't know, but I'm hoping you figured it out.
I have not. All right, we'll move on.
It probably didn't have the connotation back then, right? Like when did that slang
But
appear?
people still, I was watching a show the other day, and the guy's like, "Hi, my name's Dick," and I'm just like, "Why? Why? Just call your name
Mhm.
Richard. My name's Rich. Call me
Right.
Rich."
Right. You go by anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think we went on in that episode that said, "How come no woman is called Tits? Like, what's up, Tits?" Like, or like, it's just a weird name. Like Teresa, like, her nickname is Tits. Like, I don't know. Anyways,
Boobra.
remember in episode 15 when I said a JRPG stand for Junior RPG?
God, that was episode 15?
15. Think about that.
Oh man, that was
Good,
hilarious.
good times. Episode 17, Dan from Retro Logic talked to us about toilet boners and asked, if you have a toilet boner when you're trying to poop, what do you do?
Right, because it's like touching the porcelain.
Yeah, or do you let it just point out? That's it. We'll go back to listen to that. In episode 23, John, of November of 2020, you still rented DVDs from Netflix.
Yeah. I would still
Incredible.
do it today.
My
Yeah.
mind was blown when you told me that.
This came up with Michelle the other day because I said there's people that are like, oh, why would you use DVDs and like they're streaming? But it's like, but not all these movies are streaming, or I have to
Sure.
rent it and pay $7. Like there's still a market for it. And like when we do like garage sales around here, people sell DVDs for like $1. That's a great deal.
That is a good deal. You're right.
Doing it. I don't do the DVD anymore.
So in January 2022, we kicked off season 3. A lot happened, right? We introduced our joke. We introduced Sadie. We had this new rock music. But all the way up until then, like 77 episodes, do you remember we used to start every episode with Nintendo and something? I think the first one ever was Nintendo and chill.
Nintendo and chill.
Well, John, I wrote down all 77 words that we used in those episodes.
Did you really?
I did. I don't even know how to go. I mean, there is some good ones. I kind of want to just read them all. Rapid fire.
Let's
you
hear
ready
'em.
for this?
Yeah.
Chill, eggplant, sweatpants, stimulation, birthday cake, leprechaun, social distancing, Easter eggs, turn up hustle, the Twitter scam, nudes, bikini armor, retro sets life, fireworks, 8-bit booty, Viagra, toilet boner, my broken ass, fat ass plumber, cheating on the side, sweet pumpkin boobies, spooky stories, hardcore satisfaction, holiday cheer, ugly Christmas sweaters, holiday cheer again, dicey sets games,
Wow.
celebration, Donkey Kong's banana, 4 silly awards, Pokemon, mayhem, Snyder Cut, Monster Hunter, my middle kid, happy anniversary, allergy season, honky donkey 40-year-old, hot tub, balls, and balls, happy 4th of July, Anna Kendrick, boobies, old farts, sweet pumpkin spice season, Super Nintendo, football, and the coos, Halloween mayhem, mutual simultaneous oral sets, Christmas time, demon Pokemon, roasted nuts, chill again, and games of the year. What a journey it's been, John.
I love how you can tell the episodes by some of them.
Yes, and other ones just
some
make
of them
no
are like-
sense.
Yeah, we used
That
to
was
figure
a
it out
fun
right
time.
before the show.
Right before the show, sometimes we didn't even tell each other. We would just whatever's on our mind.
Right.
But that's, if you don't know what I'm
missed
talking about,
that.
listen to any of the first 77 episodes. Every episode we gave our spiel and we said, and join us for some Nintendo, and it was one of those 77 phrases we just said. And it was just spontaneous.
I almost want to say Nintendo and Chill was one of the show title ideas in the early days.
That was
I
kind of
love
the
it 'cause
concept of our show.
at the time, like Netflix and chill was like a new phrase and
Yep.
everything. It was like Nintendo and chill is perfect. But no, then we just changed it. I can't believe we did the holiday like multiple times.
Yeah, there was only a
Still.
few. That was going to be one of the trivia questions, but that was too hard. All right,
I knew
I got-
Nintendo and chill was coming back again, though. I know we had done that again. All right.
I got 20-ish
nice.
trivia questions for you, all about our show.
Okay.
In some sense. Let's see how
Good,
well you
nail it.
know us. Keep
Got
a
it.
tally. Keep a tally for me. Let's see how you do.
Okay.
In episode 10, what was I referring to when I said to you, You looked like a troubled soul lost on another planet. Episode 10.
No idea.
Yeah, you're not
Absolutely
going to know this
zero
one.
idea.
Some of these are very difficult, but they're more
Yeah.
conversational pieces.
Okay.
This was when we got our new logo and you were Bayonetta. I said, you looked like a troubled soul lost on another planet.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
had got that was like I think Adam from Megadads had made those for us,
Yeah.
and we put it into our logo. And I was Bayonetta, and you were Little Mac.
That's right. All right, this should be an easy one. This is a softball. We've had 3 theme songs over the years. That's it. What are they?
Really?
I think it's been only 3. Maybe it's been more, but name 3 of them.
Well, okay. So we had the Little Mac, we had the Mike Tyson's Punch Out song.
Yeah. I mean, we have one now.
We have fuck, what's the one right now?
You literally edit it every episode, John. I don't even, you edit.
It's the Link's Awakening song, right?
Okay. Yep.
I can't hear it in my head. I am still full from Easter.
Yeah.
What is the third? Oh, the third one is shut up and sit down. Sit down and
no, you had it. Shut up and sit down.
Shut up.
What a fantastic. We just found that on the internet. It literally used to start every episode with shut up and sit down. All right, number 3. We deviated. I couldn't figure them all. I found 2 times. It might have been more, but we deviated twice from our original music to start an episode. Could you name any of them? There's 2 of them that I have. There possibly could be more.
Oh God! One of them had to be a holiday song. So one of them was Halloween, spooky, scary skeletons.
You got it. That was one of them. The other one's I'll give you a hint because you already got the question right. One of them was a fan-made song.
Was it? We didn't use Koozie. We did Koozie as an outro. Was it an intro?
I thought it was an intro.
Was it an informant?
No, the Koozie, the D-Lolly Dolly.
Song?
What a day. Yeah.
Okay. We did that as an intro?
I believe we did.
Okay.
Yep.
Very nice. I love that song.
Yep, you got it right. All right. Number 4. How many times has I, as Drew, done a solo episode?
You did you did some. We used to do more in between shows.
Yep, we did.
I'm gonna say you did. God, it's 2 or 3. 3.
I did do 3. I did episode 50.
One
of my favorite titles of all time. Megropia.
Megropia.
Around episode 91, I did an N64 special. Actually, I did a GameCube special too, didn't I?
Yeah, well, I don't remember if
we did that together. We did that together, I think.
Yeah.
I did, and then around 119, I did a Mayhem special. It was like a 10-minute one. I think I just introduced the new Mayhem.
Okay.
I thought you were away or something.
Yeah.
All right. You did that
nice.
Right. Question 5. Which of these was not a spoiler cast? We used to do special spoiler casts?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm going to name a few games. Which of these we did not do?
Okay.
You ready? Skyward Sword, 12 Minutes, Loop Hero, Wild Frost, Mario Golf Super Rush.
Say the list again.
Yep.
12
Skyward Sword, 12 Minutes, Loop Hero, Wild Frost, Mario Golf Super Rush. Which one of these was not a spoiler cast?
So I did a 12 minutes one, I think, by myself, right? These aren't all.
You actually did it with Nick.
Okay. All right. So definitely I did 12 minutes. Loop Hero, we did a show. We talked about it. I'm going to say that was one that we did.
Okay.
Wild Frost, I know we talked about that extensively. I think we did. I don't fucking remember doing. Maybe I do remember Skyward Sword. I'm going to say we did not do Skyward Sword.
We did, and I believe Jesse was with us.
Really? He did the Paper Mario one with us.
We definitely did one. Jesse might not have been with us. I know for a fact there was a spoiler cast titled Skyward Sword, and I want to say when did that come out? I'll find it right now.
A couple years ago? 2-3 years ago? 2 years ago, I would say. I'll look it up.
It'll be easy to find. I want to say Jesse was on it. I should have had that ready to go, the episode number.
July
I know we did one.
2021.
Oh, July 2021. That was that long ago?
A little over 2 years ago.
So probably in August we probably did it.
So did we not do a Super Rush one? I know we
Episode
did.
56, Skyward Sword spoiler cast. It might have just us. We did not. Oh, do you have a final answer?
I
Oh,
feel
that
like
was
I already
your
got it wrong, but is
So
Super Rush?
yeah, you got it wrong. The answer was Mario Golf Super Rush. We never
Okay.
did a spoiler. That was a trick question. So we probably talked about it for 10 episodes in a row.
You probably talked about it for 10 episodes in a row.
Correct. All right, next question. On episode 65, I wrote a poem that we started the episode off with. What was it based off of? What was it?
Is this the sex poem? I don't think that was a poem. No, wait a minute. It was wasn't it a Night Before Christmas poem?
Oh, yeah, it was. What was it about? It was a night before something. It was
a
the
game.
eve of something.
It was a game.
It wasn't a game. Want me to give you a time frame?
Yeah.
October 2021.
October 2021?
The eve of
was
something.
It the night that was it Luigi's Mansion 3?
It was not.
No, I don't know.
I'm
gonna know it when you say it.
OLED.
Oh,
it was
that's
the eve before OLED.
Yes. Yeah,
we're gonna play that. Maybe we should pull it and we'll play it here. If not, go back and listen to it. It was a fantastic little poem. All right, the next two are going to be tricky ones. I'll give you a little bit of leeway. When was the first time Bob Cousy came on the podcast? What episode number? I'll give you like a range. So take a guess.
Between 1 and 200.
No, like a 3 to 5 episode range.
I have no idea. His first, the first time we had him on, I think we had him on with Hambone.
False.
Right? No? Oh, we had him on just with him?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what was the first reason, and I could not tell you. I'm going to say episode 40.
It was actually that same OLED episode, 65.
And he came on for like pre-OLED discussion?
Sure. Follow-up question. When was Hambone's first episode?
Fuck, man.
So, listen, these aren't easy. All right.
Hambone was after Coos.
When? How far after?
Between episodes 66 and 200.
I'm going to need a little more for better.
Episode 80.
The very next episode, episode 66.
What did we have him on for?
I don't know. I don't remember. All right. How many Halloween mayhems have we had?
3.
Correct.
Nice.
All right. On episode 69.
Which question is this?
Number 10.
Okay.
Why do you have them labeled as A, B, C, D?
Because I'm trying to change it to the numbers and I can't. So it's
all right.
I think
on
got
episode
4 wrong
69, we talked about 69, of course.
Of course.
What did you describe 69 as, and what was the name you came up with?
Corkscrew.
Yes.
Next question.
What was the position like? Because it was very specific. The corkscrew of 69 is what? Do you remember that? That's a bonus question.
It's like sideways. You're like sideways.
Sideways. It wasn't top or bottom. It was you.
It's not who's on top and who's bottom. It's when you're lying on your sides. That's the best way. Yes.
Okay. All right. Multiple part question here. Question 11. For March Madness, we did a bracket of the hottest gaming characters of all time. What was it called?
It was the booty bracket.
It was the booty bracket. Who won, John?
Fuck. It wasn't Tifa. I think it was a Nintendo character, right? Like a Nintendo character.
It was a Nintendo character.
Was it Rosalina?
She was the final 3, but she did not win.
I remember being disappointed by the winner. I can't remember. Who was it?
It was Samus. It was as expected.
Samus, yeah.
Another bonus question. What were the 3 conferences called?
Conferences.
Remember they had like 3 conferences or 3 parts of the bracket?
Oh,
They were good
it was
names.
something like I don't remember the names. It was something like I know we had the Nintendo Hotties or something.
Hero Hotties.
God, I can't remember. I can't remember anymore.
Badass Babes. It was
Badass
just kind of like the
Babes.
villains.
Yeah.
And then the Sets Bombs.
Sex bombs. Yes. We
All
are
right.
sex bomb. I watched the Scott Pilgrim anime since our
Oh, yeah?
last episode. Yeah,
What do you
not
know?
bad.
Question 12. How many different logos have we had over the years that we've used in our podcast feed?
Oh, it can't be many. It can't be many. We
Variations of the logo.
had variations of the logo. So our initial logo was like the Bayonetta Little
Yep.
Mac one we talked about.
Yeah.
And we had one other one, which I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure we had one other one. And then we've had our standard logo for a long time. We have a Christmas version.
Yep.
We have an LGBT version.
Yep.
We've got a Halloween version.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a regular version and then the black alternate version.
Killed it.
Killed it.
We had remember Michelle made the ones of us sitting on the mushrooms, but I don't think we ever used that for the podcast feed.
No, it wasn't a good icon, but it was the cover photo on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What video game leads have we hosted?
Video game leads?
A lead.
What does that mean? Leads.
Yeah, leads.
Okay, we said we've done Mario Strikers League.
Yep.
I got to write them down. We did a Wargroove League.
We did.
We did a Mario Strikers Wargroove Golfing It.
Golfing It. Yep.
I would Super Rush for sure. Probably did 12 Super Rush leagues. What other leagues?
It was just very long. It was like 12 weeks.
Was Mario Kart a league?
No, I wouldn't count
that was a Mayhem.
Yeah.
How many other leagues do we have?
I have 2 more written down that I'm aware of. There could have been more.
I'd be stumped for another. They're all Switch games, right?
They were available on the Switch. Yes. Want a hint? I'll give you a hint. They're both NSO games or available through NSO.
Okay, so we did. There was a golf game on NSO.
We did the Mario Golf for N64.
NES Open. Oh no, that was a Mayhem. We did an NES Open Mayhem. That was that was like before Mayhem, maybe.
But we did an actual golf lead for N64 Mario Golf.
Okay.
And there was one other one on the NSO.
Tetris?
Nope. No. That's not a lead. A Tetris lead?
Ice hockey.
Ice hockey. Got it.
Okay. Nice.
I'll give you that one. You got that one.
I'll take it.
All right, number 14. Which of these was never a monthly Mayhem game?
Oh, I got this.
Tecmo Bowl, Origami King, Donkey Kong Country, Mario 35, or Miitopia.
Oh my god. I thought I had this. Miitopia? I don't think there's any fucking way we did Miitopia. Origami King, I think maybe.
Are we gonna Tecmo Bowl
again? Tecmo Bowl we did.
Origami King, Donkey Kong Country, Mario 35,
Donkey Kong Country.
Miitopia.
Is Donkey Kong Country.
Tecmo Bowl. We never did an official Tecmo Bowl Mayhem. No.
We did Donkey Kong Country.
Maybe we did. Actually, you know what? Fuck. Maybe you're right. Maybe we did. Maybe I'm wrong.
Right. I remember.
I feel like we played online against people.
You know what it is? We had a Mayhem one time where we challenged people to score like a certain amount of points or something like that. Or remember you had one where you had to run from one end zone back and then back again or something like that. I think that
but
was
it wasn't official. Maybe I'm wrong. You know
might
what?
have been a secondary.
We did an NA.
Yeah.
I can't confirm that one. I can't confirm the next one.
When did we do Donkey Kong Country?
Oh, it was combined with another game. You get to pick which game you wanted.
Yeah,
I forget which game it was.
Remember now. Yeah.
All right. Remember for a while we did do like a Switch game, and then we would do an NSO game, so you could pick which one you wanted to in case you didn't buy that game. I think it was maybe paired with Origami King, to be honest.
I think that was I think you're right.
All right. Number 15. We did a Metroidvania Monthly Mayhem. That was the name of it. And we had 3 Metroidvania style games.
Yep.
Can you name them? I'll even name 2 of them. Name 2 out of the 3.
One of them was definitely Gato Roboto.
Yes, it was.
One of them was, I think, Super Metroid on NSO.
It was. Those bonus pointing at the 3rd.
The last one's going to be a tough one. I don't know if I can name the last one, but I remember they were all good games. Axiom Verge.
You got it. Nailed it.
Yep.
All right.
I love that game.
Mark that one down. Number 16. How many bounty boards did we have?
Oh, God. Yeah, I loved the bounty board.
It was fun, but it was hard.
It became very hard to come up with bounties that had a balance of hard to do, that people hadn't already done.
I know.
It became tricky. I would say we did 20.
24. Not bad. Not bad.
Really? How did you get this number? Where did you get that number from?
Because we paid people,
you had the graphics.
And I had the graphics, and I went to our paid sheet and see how many we paid.
Okay, that's right. Wow.
In finance.
Deep dive.
John, over the years, how many official video reviews have I made?
How many reviews? You haven't done that many.
I've not done that many.
I know you did Dwarf.
Definitely did Dwarf.
You did a poker game. I don't know the name of it, but
I'll give you that. Poker Stars. That's it.
Poker Stars. That's
it.
Right.
You killed it.
Right. So random. Poker Stars. Dwarf. You were like champing at the bit. Poker Stars. I don't know how you ended up with that one.
I'm not sure either. Which of these is not an actual episode title? Dirty Kirby Turns 30.
That's definitely a title.
My Sword's Going Skyward.
Definitely a title.
Meatropia.
We used to have much dirtier titles.
COVID Turnips and Dits.
I don't think. That's no way that was a title.
It's not. It was COVID Turnips and something else. I changed the last word. Okay, I did that one right. Number 19.
Sneaky.
Which of these is not an actual episode title? I like these ones.
Did you just run out of questions at this point?
Nintendo Switch Pro LED.
Definitely did that one.
Steam Dick.
There's no chance we did Steam. Well, but let me see what the rest are.
Manly Stuff.
Wow.
The Lawnmower Men.
We did that one.
A Pod About Nothing.
We did that one. So it's either Steam Dick. I generally do the titles.
You do.
For the show.
Is just in yourself.
And I love introducing something dirty in the titles, but like they also get posted on the Nintendo Dad's YouTube. And there is at least one time we had 2 different titles.
They changed it.
The podcast was one title, and then the YouTube, it was the one with Elizabeth Berkley from Showgirls licking a pole. That was our cover, but the one I gave Nintendo Dads for YouTube was a different picture and a different title. I don't think I would have said Steam Dick.
You did not. It was Steam Deck.
What was the one after that you said?
Manly Stuff.
And we did that one?
We did.
I don't remember that one.
Which of these is not an actual episode title? Indie... Okay.
You clearly ran out of steam.
Indie
you could have just made it 15 questions at this point.
I only have 2 left. Indie World Candy Shop.
Ooh.
Monster MILF Hunting.
Ooh.
Show Us Your Pumpkins.
Ooh.
Or Shootin' the Breeze.
That's a definite one we did. So wait, one of these is not a title.
Correct.
Wow.
Indie World Candy Shop. Monster MILF Hunting. Show Us Your Pumpkins.
I think it's Monster MILF Hunting.
You got it. It is.
Wow.
That is not a show title. It should have been.
I don't remember the other 2, honestly, but...
Last question for you. In January 2021, you did a Betwixt. Remember those things?
Mm-hmm.
Of the worst game you ever played in 2020. What was your number one worst game played in 2020?
2020? It's going to be too hard for me. I'll need a hint on this one. There's no way I can. I played a lot of bad games, Drew.
It's After Dark themed.
Was it?
That's why you played it, I think.
Was it the? What was the name of that game?
Describe it. I'll give it to you.
It's like a shooter, and like
Yep.
they strip naked as
That's
you play
the one. Waifu Uncovered.
Waifu Uncovered. Oh my god! I gotta say this. One time, my Brolo was over, and he's just browsing through my Switch, and I didn't even think anything of it. And he's browsing through the games, and he finds Waifu Uncovered, and I was like, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I got that game as a goof or whatever. Don't play it.
Yeah.
And then today we were at his house, and he has one of those like on his counter, like I think it was an Amazon like LCD screen, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a shopping list, and it says giant water wifey jugs or something. And I was like, oh my God, he's got this on this list, and his whole family is over.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even going to say anything. And he walks up next to me because that's where we're getting plates. And I go, oh, hey, did you pick up any of those giant water wifey jugs?
Do you know what you were talking about?
Well, I was pointing at it. It's on a big screen.
Yeah,
I might not have been the first one to see it. And you can tell that he was like laughing about it, and he explained the joke. And then he went to delete it. Like he knew. He was like, oh shit.
But I don't need the whole family to be seeing it.
His mother-in-law is over.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. That was a good list. I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun. Good stuff.
Wow.
I'm going to ask you the same questions for episode 300.
Yeah, you're going to be 20 of them are going to be like, what show title did we not use?
Fun. Well, the problem was I was going through show titles. Like, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It was a way to bring back show titles.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many you can miss.
I agree.
Like,
like all those questions were about us.
Yeah. And it's like
time flies.
Honestly, like, I mean, we started this show before COVID. That's a long time. We've been doing this show for a really long time.
I know. You got to remember too, we say episode 200, but we do every 2 weeks, right? So if you think about that, and we do some in between, but if we were doing it weekly, we would be like 350 episodes. Like
we'd be way. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we were doing it every week, it would be that high. We don't do it that often to give ourselves a break.
We did some betwixt because we were doing every 2 weeks, and then I started to get a little antsy pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like there'd be news that would just sit on for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Then we started doing some betwixt, and then it was like we would always do an in between episode. And right now we're in a phase where we like never do an in between episode.
Well, there's just not a lot going on. I mean, if stuff got busy and we wanted to do spoiler cast, which maybe we should, we haven't done one in a while. We would do in between episodes.
Yeah, but the Switch is dying.
Maybe Switch 2 will be back to weekly or something. You never know.
That's right.
We'll see. But John, we have tons of questions we need to get through here.
We have a fuckload, so we will go through quickly. But we have a couple of voicemails we're going to play through.
Yeah.
And this first one is from an informant. Now, you heard him in the intro.
That was not him, was it?
That was an informant in the first one.
Bunny.
Here he is. True. Sorry, kids out there. But this is an informant for the second one.
Congratulations! Woohoo! 200 episodes. Way to go! Hey guys, it's actually me, Andy P., the informant. I wanted to call and congratulate you. 200 episodes it's something. Is it that impressive, though? I mean, Drew's probably murdered that many animals in the last month or so, right?
Probably.
Now you're right. It is.
Fair.
It is impressive, and I've been enjoying it. So I hope you guys will keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. That's what I always like to say. Grab them by the pussy, make them come. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying, but
he fucked himself over.
200 episodes, pretty good for you.
He went off the rails there.
I wonder if he even knows who he is anymore. He's just got all these personalities buried in. And then we got one from the Coos. What, episode 65? Was it 65?
65, first one.
All right.
Hey guys, Koozie here. Congrats on 200 episodes. That's amazing. It's amazing you guys could put up with each other for that long. My personal favorite episode is, of course, episode 169, where Hambone spends the night with Drew and they drive John crazy. Favorite guest on the show is obviously myself because I bring the fire. I want to ask you guys a quick question. Is there a video game out there that's worth $200 to you? Not like collective purposes, but like to own and play. Is there a game that you would pay $200 for? Last but not least, had a quick story. I remember the other day that when my kids were little, I used to tell them sugar was crack. So they'd walk around saying, we want crack, we want crack. Eventually went down to just jelly, so they'd ask for a crack sandwich instead of a jelly sandwich. The grandparents really love that. Hey, congrats again, guys, and here's to at least 20 more. Love y'all.
Before we answer the question, I have to let you know, John, that episode 169 when Hambo came over for the golf tournament, that's happening again in a few, well, probably a month and a half. So
I'm going to be out that week. Yeah.
No, you're on. Maybe we'll record outside with the birds chirping.
If nobody has heard this infamous episode 169, Hambone was at Drew's house. They had spent like a couple hours trying to like set it up, and Drew was buzzed at a minimum, and just staring at some girl's boobs on Twitch, and like I'm looking at the video camera and he's staring and he's like, oh, and he's like turning to Hambone, and I'm like, and I'm trying to like go through the games that I've been playing or talk about a topic, and he's so distracted. And it was like, oh my God, I wanted to murder Drew through the screen.
I need to listen to that episode again.
It is horrible. You can hear my tone change over the show.
Oh boy. So it's funny he asked this question because Matt's Power actually asked almost the same question.
Okay, well, let's answer this one and fuck Max Power.
Wow.
We'll come back. A game. So what are the rules for this one? A game that you would pay $200 for. So is this a game that maybe you like hadn't played yet and it went on sale for $200 and you're like, I have to get this game? I feel like more than like I would pay that today, but like maybe your hype level was so much you would pay $200.
Like for example, if Ages of Mages 2 came out, I'd pay $200. Fact. Okay. I'm not even like secretly joking about that, because I think the hype behind that game has grew so much in our community that I feel like I'd have to do everyone justice and pay the $200 and play it. So legit would pay $200 for Ages of Mages 2.
Okay. I mean, that's scary. Yeah.
And any Mario Golf game, of course.
Any Mario Golf game? Really?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's just not a game I cannot play. Like if it exists, I need to play it. And now, if he's talking about like a nostalgia game, let's throw this the other way. Like, is there a game that you'd have to like an older game that you would keep for $200?
An older game,
library type thing.
I don't know. Like once I've played a game, I don't know. I don't know if there's. Yeah, like fair. I'd be like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it'd have to be like this game's coming out, and it's going to be like $200.
All right, so what's the game for you then? What if it was the new Life is Strange?
I mean, yeah, honestly, that new one that's coming out, not Lost Records. What is it?
You don't even know the name of it?
God,
who are you?
It's been all
that trivia got to your head.
Yeah, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. I would pay $200 for that. But I would pay $200 for. I would have paid $200 for Tears of the Kingdom. Honestly, if they asked for $200, I was that hyped for it.
It's funny, if you pay that much money for a game, are you more inclined to like 100% it per se?
Oh yeah.
I feel like, I mean, I didn't 100% Tears of the Kingdom, right? I did a lot. But if I paid $200, I feel like I probably would have 100%ed all the side quests and everything.
I mean that was a game that was like that would be fun. I mean, I still want to get back to that game.
I know. I'm close. I did a lot. I know I did the entire depths. I did all of that, but
anyways. I still have a bunch of quests, but I couldn't find. The thing was, I couldn't find more quests. I wanted to do more quests, but I couldn't find them, and I don't want to look them up because we're not going to get a Zelda game for like 5 more years.
True.
But I was like, I would go to these towns. I'm like, just give me anything to do. And I couldn't find anything. That's right. That's where I left off.
But Coos, Informant, appreciate the voicemails. We love the voicemails. If anyone ever wants to leave a voicemail, it's in the show notes, or legit just send us an audio file in Discord and we'll play it. Simple.
Good question. All right. This question comes from Max Power. Nintendo just shadow dropped a new 3D Zelda game. It's a new art style with new gameplay mechanics. It's getting 10s across the board and being discussed as one of the best games of all time, but it costs $200. Are you buying it? The answer is yes. Next question. What?
I mean,
right? You're yes.
I mean,
right?
I paid 200 for Ages of Mages, so sure.
Yeah, of course. What? I mean, absolute. Tears of the Kingdom is worth 200. Breath of the Wild is worth 200. Sure. Yeah, we're in. What games, if any, have you put 200 or more hours into?
Animal
Crossing.
Paladins.
Really? You got to 200 hours?
Did. Slay the Spire. I'm like at 400 hours if you combined mobile and NES. And
I wish
and
I had
Switch.
more time to play. I play Slay the Spire in spurts and
Me too. I haven't played in a while. You get it done in the mobile. It's a good shitter game.
I have it on my phone and I haven't played it yet.
That's
I don't know why.
the place to do it.
I've played Monster Hunter Rise for over 300 hours. I played Animal Crossing for hundreds of hours, not like insane amounts, like maybe 300 or 400 maybe, but I've played that for a lot. And probably Breath of the Wild, because I played through it twice. So I don't know if I got to 200. If I didn't, I got close.
200 hours. I guess I'd have to.
Yeah, that's 2 full playthroughs.
I can tell you Evan has in many games. Probably Legos.
Kids play games more. They definitely. I don't know what else on Switch I might have played over 200 hours in. Mario Kart might be close.
I was pretty close in Animal Crossing as well, I think.
Animal Crossing was easy to sink
the turnip puzzle was real.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to get to 200 on Helldivers too. I'm telling you that much right now.
Yep, that's a lot of hours. Breaking 100's hard. Never mind 2.
It is. Monster Hunter World, I'll get to 200 if I haven't already. But yeah, there's not too many other games that I play for insane amounts of hours.
I will say some of the like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, but that's when you play MMOs that you play for years. That's kind of easy.
And back in that time frame, there weren't as many games coming out.
No, I mean I probably put like over 2,000 hours into Guild Wars.
Yeah, we didn't get flooded. All right. Would you rather fight 200 horses the size of ducks or 1 duck the size of a horse?
I'm going to go with 1 duck the size of a horse.
I agree. That's going to be a tough battle. But I feel like 200 horses the size of ducks would be really fucking annoying.
They just overtake you. There's too many.
Yeah, there's too many.
Brutal.
Yeah. That was easy. After a weekend of binging Mario Wonder, you are convinced it's the best game of all time. It's a great game.
It is.
You show up at home the next day and have covered your body with 200 Mario tattoos, like a Mario-themed Post Malone. That cracked me up.
Nice.
You drop a 200G bag of magic mushrooms on the coffee table and ask your wife if she wants to take a wonderful trip. What's her reaction?
Wow.
So wait a minute. You show up at home with 200 Mario tattoos. You drop down a 200 gram bag of magic mushrooms on the coffee table and ask your wife if she wants to take a wonderful trip. What's her reaction? I'm probably out of the house at that point.
I think I'm out of the house as well. Or maybe she just takes the mushrooms and guys have some amazing sets and you call it a night. I mean,
I don't
probably
think that's
not. Probably
here.
probably not going to happen. You're probably
I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
God, I wouldn't even know. Yeah.
I want to be a Mario themed Post Malone though.
I want to see one. I don't want to be it. I want to see one.
Just like coin boxes on your face and all that. That would be fun. All right, Max Power. Were you asking that because you're curious if you do it? What'll happen? If you do it, film it. Hambone Johnny, episode 66. If your life depended on it, how many hamburgers could you eat in one sitting? So
Like,
what is the rules here? Are these plain?
like a McDonald's or like this is like a homemade?
Well, let's go with let's pretend they're Big Macs. That's a good, right? We know what a Big Mac is.
No, but I think there's too much shit on that though. I think we'll just do a plain hamburger.
But I need it like from a particular restaurant. So I gotta have because
I agree with that.
You know, burgers can be big or small. I can't.
Just should be in the middle, like an Applebee's. Like a fucking just an Applebee's.
No, I fucking hate
Applebee's sucks. I agree, but
I can't zero Applebee's burgers.
I don't think it could be like a McDonald's cheeseburger. Those things are like nothing. And a quarter pounder.
As long as we know what we're talking about. How about a You have Good Times there or Five
No,
Guys?
I don't
Five Guys
Five
is
Guys.
huge.
That's a big greasy burger, though.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I can't eat a lot of those. I think just a regular quarter pounder cheeseburger with 2 buns. I'm going like 8 to 10 if my life depended on it. If it was McDonald's, I think I could do double that.
Yeah. I don't think I could do double, but I think I could get to 10.
I could get to 10. I think if it was my life depended on it, I could do 10 at least.
Would we survive at 10? What is
You did the meat sweats.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would like vomit at some point. I'm not trained for this sort of thing, but I think I can do it.
I think I could do 10.
The Mets had their opening day on Friday. It's been a bad opening series for the Mets. They lost all 3, got swept at home.
It hurts.
But I was like, I want to go get like a snack. I was like, I'm going to get some food. I'm going to enjoy the game. I have my car. I thought about going to Taco Bell and just getting like a 10-pack of tacos and just chugging them down. But I'm like, no, that's too bad. And I was on the way home from the post office and I go, oh, McDonald's. I'm going to go to McDonald's. And I bought a Big Mac and a 20-piece chicken nuggets.
You ate all of it?
Killed it.
How'd you feel after that?
I did not feel all that great, but I didn't snack before dinner. I was so full.
Any fries?
And no regrets. No, I didn't get fries. No regrets.
Sweet
Big
and sour
Mac,
sauce?
Nuggets, ranch.
Ranch? McDonald's
fantastic.
offers ranch dipping sauce?
Yes.
Don't give me that face. That's a normal, legit question. Who the fuck that's ranch dressing for chicken nuggets?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Do sweet and sour, maybe some barbecue sauce.
They do
Definitely
sweet and
maybe some
sour,
ketchup
barbecue,
sauce.
and ranch.
But ranch on
Yeah.
chicken?
Fuck yeah. With chicken? Fuck yeah. It's like
Get out of here.
it's like the best
That's
one.
like your mayonnaise answer with a Nintendo
This
Dad.
is
Like,
this
get
is
outta
your
here.
junior RPGs moment all over again. Get out of
No,
here.
I think I have the listeners on my side on this one.
No fucking way. All right, Tim.
100%.
Tim with 7 questions. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Rapid fire 'em.
Actually, not all questions. Congratulations on reaching 200 episodes. Thank you, Tim. That is a huge accomplishment. Looking back, what has been your most surprising moment on the podcast? I just said it when
Junior.
Drew was absolutely convinced that JRPG stood for Junior RPG on a podcast
About video
live.
games. Live. Listen, I was young in my career. That was a long time ago. I've matured.
A Junior RPG.
I've extended my Rolodex of knowledge to know that it's now Japanese and not junior. Any surprising moments? I mean, we've just being the basis of what our show is, like After Dark. There's not a lot that surprises me anymore. I mean, we've talked about 69 and we've talked about the booty bracket. We rate cartoon Nintendo characters' hotness and their cleavage. I mean, like, it's been a fucking journey, and 200 more. Let's go.
I thought you were going to say that you didn't realize ranch came with chicken nuggets at McDonald's.
I did not. That's also a very surprising moment for me. I did not. That didn't cross my mind at any point.
So good, man. Totally recommend. Go get some chicken nuggets and ranch tomorrow.
You know, now that you mentioned that, when we go to Popeyes, my wife does ask for ranch dressing.
Yeah. It's very common. You know what surprises me though? I'm mad at McDonald's because they've been like really jacking up their prices on their food, and there's like a lot of price gouging that's going on these days. And I'm not going to McDonald's and getting their high price. And I got the Big Mac, and it was like $5.50 or something. And I'm like,
just a Big Mac?
For just a Big Mac. Those used to be, I think, $2. But it's like, all right, yeah, that's a little high. A 20-piece chicken nuggets was $7. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. That's not bad.
And they're fucking amazing. I mean,
nuggets are gross, but good. I agree. They're gross.
In the end, Big Mac with 20-piece chicken nuggets being like $12, not bad. Now, some things like the hash browns are like $3. Like some of the stuff has gotten insane. Chicken nuggets for $7? Don't tell McDonald's, but like that's still a good deal. Tim also asked, has the podcast evolved the way you originally envisioned it? If so, how?
Yeah, I think it has. I'll say, I think it definitely has. Our niche in the beginning was the After Dark, and we did a lot of After Dark type stuff. I think we did all. I hate to say we did all of it. We'll always come with little ideas, but like we did do a lot of that after dark. We ranked characters. We did the booty brackets. We talked about hottest games. Like we did those episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't redo them unless unless there's new characters, I guess.
Yep.
So
I agree. Yeah, when we first started doing the show, we kind of did like 1 or 2 topics, and that was it. That were meaty. Then we had trouble coming up with meaty topics sometimes, and then we went to your like top 10 countdown.
Yep.
So we could do smaller topics.
Yeah.
And then we changed, and then we went back to that, and then like we've gone back and forth. I think some weeks it's harder to follow the format,
and that's okay.
And we end up with different things. Yeah.
We just kind of chat about different topics.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of like interludes in between, and now we basically just do the show from beginning to end.
Yeah, talk about Miley Cyrus being hot. She is.
Yeah, a lot of changes. Next, we got so many questions. We might have to skip some of the non-200. We're going to go through them all? All right.
Keep going.
Okay. I don't want you to fall asleep on us.
It's late. It's 10:30. That's late for me, but keep going.
What is one thing you've learned from listeners that you wouldn't have otherwise?
Well, that I'm negative. I'm a negative person. My life is now changed in podcasting and outside of life. I try to be a better positive person, John.
You've had a couple listeners say that you're not negative.
I appreciate that.
The great irony would be that if they were like they meant to mean me.
That would be. Oh my god! I still believe it because they also said I don't play Nintendo games when that's the only console that I own. So I do think they mixed our names up. Just saying.
Maybe I'm not negative though. I'm just honest. But like I see myself as a very positive person. But
hey,
I'm going to give my opinion. I'm not going to like cut it. If I don't like something, I'm going to let you know.
We said Sparks of Hope DLC is worth the value.
Yeah, I didn't even like the game, and we bought the DLC.
It's worth.
I didn't say it was worth the value yet. I've only played through one
I said
very
it was.
lousy
It's worth 12.
DLC.
I mean, 30 hours of gameplay. It's a lot.
Yeah, but what is the gameplay, right? Like, it's got to be good gameplay. Like, we're not suffering.
It's worth the value.
I got to play the next 2 for sure. With 200 episodes under your belt, what are you most excited about for the future of the podcast?
The future.
I'm excited for the Switch 2 era.
I agree. We've been stuck on one console our entire life of the podcast, right? We've gone through COVID. We've gone through games. I agree. Like now the speculation and rumor mill and the directs and like I'm ready for the next cycle. Like, what is it going to be? What is it going to bring us?
Yeah, I started listening to the Nintendo Dads a couple months after the Switch came out, and then after a while, I went back to listen to the first episode, and I think it's a good exercise for people. The first episode after the Switch came out to hear their like at the time reactions to it.
Yeah,
and I'm excited. Like when the Switch 2 comes out, we're going to do a lot of content. That's not going to be like an every 2 weeks thing. We're going to be talking about it quite a bit, and I'm excited to see what the Switch 2 is. We haven't been able to do a new console topic on this show.
Agreed.
So I'm excited about that. Is there a dream guest you'd love to have on the show someday?
This is a tough one because we don't really do guests. I mean, I guess when I think back, the only guest that we really had was probably Brett Martin when we did this Nintendo collection. Like we don't really do developers or publishers, though I will tell you guys, I failed you as a host where I did try to get the Dolphinit developer and I failed. But we don't really pursue guests, I guess. That's not really our MO.
Yeah, like I'm kind of like an introverted guy, and so like having certain guests in the show I feel like would be tough. But if like in terms of just like dream guests where I don't have to deal with the crippling anxiety of it all, or honestly feeling like the person's being invited on a show that's really not the format that they really want to come into, and I don't want a guest to feel uncomfortable to come on a Dad's After Dark show. But Amaranth would be a dream guest. But even more so, Sadie. Sadie would be a dream guest to have.
Sadie would be, even if we could get her on for like 10 to 15 minutes, just to like, maybe we could, this sounds naughty, but maybe we could pay her. I mean, that's what she does. How much would it cost, like per word? Isn't that how she charges?
How much to get you on our show? What is a price to you?
I can only say 500 words. A little quicker.
No, and I mean, like I don't know if she would be interested in video games or whatever, but
I wouldn't even.
It would
care.
be fun.
It would be funny just to have her on and talk about her career as a voice actor.
Yeah,
maybe she voiced acted in a video game. We don't even know it.
The other thing that makes me nervous is that we refer to her by name in the show, and I'm not sure she would like love that.
That's a good point. She'd be like, "Wait, you do what? You guys talk about me?"
There's a lot of like copyright rules too. Like it actually says if you're doing like certain kinds of content, like TV shows, whatever,
Yeah.
like you have to pay extra for
That's a good point.
copyright, but it doesn't mention podcasts.
This is
So I'm like,
gray
okay,
area.
I think we're good. Yeah, and she knows we're doing a podcast, but
The other one would be Family Jewels, who does our music. But again, I don't know what I would talk to him about.
I don't know the guy. Yeah,
I don't know
he
either.
might be like, stop playing our music.
we let him know every time. He did email us back and say it was fine, but
yeah, we give credit and all that stuff, but I wouldn't want him to reevaluate when he hears the show.
fair point.
I forgot that I was taking some notes on some of these questions, and for looking back, what has been your most surprising moment on the podcast? And I put one down that I totally forgot about, but I remembered last week when Drew was correct on the pronunciation of Lululemon.
Yes. Refresh me on that one. But anytime you say
said
I'm correct,
you were talking about you went to you got shorts and from Lululemon, and I laughed out loud on the show because I thought it was pronounced Lululemon. I don't know what I had heard. I was like, no, it's not Lululemon. What are you, an idiot? It's Lulumon. And then we were looking and I was like, holy shit, it's Lululemon. And then I went to talk to Michelle and she's like, yeah, Lululemon. I'm like, how is that a real thing?
Drew was right, and you knew you had to face me, and I'm not right often.
It's like, freaking shocking.
JRPGs.
You've obviously built a loyal listenership. What are some ways your listeners have impacted the show? I will say this: Kuz is the most obsessed fan I think we have, and I am constantly surprised. Like he did the like most recently, like the clips, the best of clips.
That was awesome.
Like that was insanity. The trivia that he does. I mean, he will listen to our old shows over and over and over and over and over, and I can't even do that.
This is a great question. I mean, obviously, Kuz and Hambone are the easy ones to go to for this. I mean, I've now met these people in real life. I've stayed at Kuz's house. I just slept with Kuz in a hotel last weekend. Hambone has. Hey, listen, fats are fats. Hambone slept in my house. I mean, these are people I met their families. Like they met my family. Like this is literally like life impacting people that I've met. I'll also say like even the Presence After Dark has really connected a lot of our community where
it's been awesome.
It got very personal. Like the Informant's another good example. I got to know him and his family very well. And the stuff they sent us is a very personalized present, right? So the listeners have impacted the show in huge ways. I think they've also helped modify our show and grow our show into different mayhems where we've customized them knowing our actual audience, right? Like now that we know the people that compete in these, we kind of create mayhems for these people. We've created mayhems for people because they've asked us to do it.
Right.
I mean, not to sound corny or cliche, but without the listeners, who are we, right? And I think we take their feedback and we kind of mold them. But again, we love the listeners, but I think John and I are similar where we're not looking at how many listens we did every episode or who's listening. I mean, we do it because we're just two guys that get along, we like each other, and we like talking about video games, right? And I think that's why it's so good, and it makes us want to go on forever because it's just simple. It's just, we're here to have fun.
Just a reminder, Drew mentioned, I have no idea who's listening to our show. I cannot track that, so don't be worried. I do keep track of the listener counts because I have to see like which episodes I have learned, and this goes back to Tim's other question. You can't just, even if somebody subscribes to you as on a podcast, it doesn't mean they're going to listen to every episode. They're going to get a bunch of episodes and they're going to click based on what's interesting. And so our show titles are important. We don't automatically get listened to by people, and search is important. There are people that search for certain topics and will listen to whatever show is talking about that topic. So I do pay attention to which episodes get the most listens.
I'm telling you right now, we don't want the listeners listening to us for listening to the title of Megropia. That might attract the wrong people. Megropia.
People are probably searching for Megropia and they find our show.
Who knows?
Crazy. Top Ranma asks, in episode 2, way back in January 2020, you each picked your top 5 Switch hotties. This is the most logical show we ever did. It was episode 2. Now that we've had 4 more years of Switch releases, who would you add to the top 5 list and who gets booted? I did research on this, Top Ranma. My top 5 My top 5 hotties were, where's the list? Okay. I had number 5, Mayiko Shimazaki from Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Bayonetta from Bayonetta 2.
She's still there.
Jenna Anderson from Astral Chain. Mithra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Still there.
She wants to bring Pyra with her. That's fine.
That's a 2 for 1.
And number 1 was Camilla from Fire Emblem Warriors.
Lara Croft never made your list?
She was not on Switch.
At the
But
time.
she is now.
Oh.
So here's how my list changes. I did not put Lara Croft on my list, but I did make a note to say, does she count now? Because we did the Lara Croft Chronicles, right? But the version of her in that game is not like who I would put on the list. But if they put it the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, I would. I took Mayiko Shimazaki off the list. She's super hot, but I've forgotten that game. I haven't played that one. I took Bayonetta from Bayonetta 2 off the list. And I took Jenna Anderson off the list as well. She just has a look to her that's great. But I have 3 more to replace her.
Okay.
Number 5 on my list, Bayonetta from Bayonetta 3.
With the short hair.
Even better. No, the long hair.
Okay.
You got to look up Bayonetta 3 Bayonetta. She looks different. Bayonetta 2 was short hair.
Okay.
Number 4, Mithra, who drops down from number 2. Number 3, Anne Takamaki from Persona 5 Royal. She is now number 3 on the list. Number 2, Camilla from Fire Emblem Warriors. Drew, tell me who my new number 1 is.
I don't know. Dude, what Life is Strange. No. Should I know this? Fire Emblem Tifa. What's her name?
No, well, Tifa's on Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's not on Switch.
Okay, what's the chit's name? I don't know. I forget her name. I know who it is.
Purah from Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, I knew that. They had some. I tried to take a cosplay. There was this chick there, but it was really creepy. That just turned out a good picture. But I thought of you, and we all thought of you as soon as she walked by us.
She was
pretty hot too.
I don't know what it is about Purah, but it's like that. Just ugh.
There was this Daisy cosplay chick that I tried to. She had like, she was wearing like her dress was like they cut a hole around the cleavage so you can see. Yeah, she was wearing one of those with a short Daisy dress. She was
like
hot.
a bubble cleavage.
Yeah, sure. I mean, no, We Fit Trainer is still the hottest character of all time, so my list does not change.
Anybody from Dwarf make the list?
There was that blue-haired chick. She was kind of pixelated hot, but not enough cleavage.
From Pepper Grinder.
Pepper.
All right, Darth Platypus. You've been sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom, and a swarm of 200 Goombas are charging you. But you were able to bring Anna Kendrick, Miley Cyrus, or Amaranth to help. Who do you choose?
Such an easy decision. This is such an easy decision. I hope you're going the same way. I mean, the simple answer would be Miley Cyrus with a wrecking ball, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the obvious only answer to this question is Anna Kendrick.
Now, how does she help?
It's irrelevant.
Okay. You're just going to die with her.
Listen, I speak Goomba. We'll be okay.
Okay. I'm going with Miley Cyrus because I feel like she's going to get me. She's the only one that's getting me out of this mess. Amaranth is like, you know, when you get the notifications on Twitch that Amaranth's going live, and like I'll be working during the day and I get it and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna just go see what she's doing. But she doesn't really touch. She doesn't do anything for like 10 minutes. She will do like she'll have a picture up and it says changing into bikini, and you see just the top of her video, and there's no way she's changing into bikini live when any mistake could happen.
Just sitting there probably taking a shit or something.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she's not helping. She's not helping in any way whatsoever. Gotta be Miley. Nintendo has heard of your accomplishment and wants to have you select the first 5 games to be inducted into the Nintendo Video Game Hall of Fame.
Wow, I didn't see this question.
What are you picking? I've got a list.
Ice hockey?
My list is actually oddly boring.
I want to hear it.
I went straight with this one. I didn't be like, oh, I'm going to put Life is Strange in there or something like that. It's got to be Super Mario Brothers, first one. Legend of Zelda, first one.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Kart, from the Super Nintendo, first one.
Yeah, I'd say you replace that with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Just be real; it's a better game.
It is, but that like just change. I guess a lot of these are like first Smash Brothers, and then the only one that's new, Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild was so industry changing. And it's brought about a genre that I love, which is like truly open world. And we don't have many of those games. There's not many games that are just this open.
I think you got to add Mario 64.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first 3D Mario Kart.
It's changed a lot. It changed a lot of games.
You could argue that one over the original Mario Kart. I played like a gazillion hours.
Just Mario 64, not Mario Kart.
Oh, Super Mario 64.
Sorry, okay. Super Mario 64.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair argument.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a lot of Nintendo games that could be on this list or so, but those are definitely the ones that came to my mind. That's a good question.
That is a direct question.
You have to spend 200 days living in the world of a game.
Oh, that's a great question.
Which do you select?
Wow, that's a great fun. That could be one of the best questions I've ever seen. I mean,
what do you go for here? Do you go for like?
You can't go Witcher because you won't survive. You're dead.
Yeah,
you're dead within 200 days if you go to the Witcher world. I mean, Mushroom Kingdom, but like, I don't know how that would translate. Like, am I a cartoon? Am I still you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hyrule, but like, if you go to Hyrule, like, are you just like a citizen living in like the Hyrule common marketplace? Like, you're not out adventuring.
Yeah.
This is you just transferring to a world.
Yeah.
Right? And which I love it. It's a great concept. God. I mean, where are you going? Don't say Life is Strange, because that's you pretty much already live there.
I'd go like Animal Crossing, New Horizons. You're on like a beach.
That's safe. I like that.
You have some like animal friends. Like they don't seem to have like jobs that you could like make money just selling peaches. Yeah, seems really nice. Point. Yeah,
that's a great idea. I kind of like that. It's like a holiday. You're on their little vacation.
There's no danger.
I like that. No danger. You gotta survive. That's the key. You gotta survive.
Yes. It's a tough question though. Because you can go for the sex angle too. Like, is there a sex angle game? Right? I don't know. Is there a character if you go to Tears of the Kingdom, right? I can go say I can be friends with Purah.
You think you could seduce her in 200 days?
I don't have to seduce her. I just want to hang out with her.
I mean, why go there for that reason if you don't try?
Sure, but I just want to bask in her glow. That's all I need.
You want to bask in more than that.
I'll bask in something. And then, since today is Easter, what is the worst thing to find when you crack open an egg?
Nothing. The egg is empty.
I'm going with a beak. Like crack it open, a beak sticks out.
Okay, I'm gonna go with nothing.
Double yolks creep me out.
I mean,
you ever get a double yolk egg?
I mean, I thought we were talking plastic Easter eggs, but let's go with this.
Eggs are great because they're like protein, low carb. Like they fill you up. I know they used to be like, oh, don't eat too many eggs, you're gonna have high cholesterol. But like when I get a double yolk, it kind of reminds me that like, there was like 2 chickens in there or something like that. Like,
yeah, that stuff creeps me out. I agree.
Good questions, Darth Platypus.
Thank you.
Possible winner of our contest. The Ninformant. Have you ever gotten blown while playing video games? If so, what game were you playing and how did you do?
I mean, simple answer here is no. I mean, you don't. No.
I wish I could say yes.
I feel like
I wish I was deciding between all the times and which
game. Yeah, like which game should I tell?
Yeah.
Great question. I mean, it sounds like he maybe has a story to share, and maybe we need to get that from him.
Yeah. What would be the most ridiculous? What would be the most ridiculous game to have it happen while you were playing? Like Untitled Goose Game?
Like maybe while you're playing The Witcher, like during the set scene.
I mean, that seems like a natural time, right?
You're right.
Like wife walks in.
Untitled Goose Game.
I know, like wife walks in while you're like doing the scene with Triss, and she's like, "Oh, you like Triss, huh?" And then let me show you.
Let me show you.
I'll be your Triss. Beer Cerveza. What is the best Easter candy? It's still peanut butter cups, right?
I had some egg-shaped peanut butter Reese's. Those were good.
Yeah, they're
They
somehow
have-
better than regular.
They are better than the condensed.
It also helps because you rip open, like, regular Reese's peanut butter cups come in that little plastic that you have to pull out. It always makes your hands a little dirty.
I'm a huge fan of like the Robin eggs. They're pretty much like melt balls, melt balls, like
yeah.
Whoppers. I like those.
I'm good.
That's my go-to.
Like Whole Foods, Purveyor. I don't know. They have Whole Foods over there.
Yeah.
Purveyor of very expensive things. They sell these like containers, these clear plastic containers with. We got yesterday, peppermint creams and then caramel bites. They're amazing. I bought 2 of them. I brought them to our little Easter thing today. I couldn't stop eating them. It's why I felt so sick. They're so good though. Like you're like, oh, this is $8 for this container. And you're like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I definitely recommend get the peppermint creams in the plastic container at Whole Foods. But yes, peanut butter cups.
Nice.
He also asks, besides video games, what other hobbies do you have? Snake murdering?
No, I mean the obvious answer is golf. If you don't know, I'm obsessed with golf. I watch golf, I play golf, I study golf, I do everything golf. I already spent $1,000 on new golf stuff this year and haven't even played yet. New club, new shoes, and balls.
Beautiful.
Golf's expensive.
Yeah, and we talked about that. Like you spent like $1,000 because we talked about getting like a PS5 and a Portal, and you're just like, I spent that on a club.
I do want to build in my backyard in the woods. I'm going to build a little platform with a golf mat. I'm going to put a big golf net between 2 trees. I'm going to be able to hit balls out there.
It's beautiful.
And nowadays, you can buy those little simulators, and they Bluetooth to your iPad, and you can see your shots.
Doesn't feel as satisfying, right? I'm a little weird.
It's still practice, though.
Yeah, it feels weird though.
What about you?
I will say, it just reminded me. I bought a new Switch.
Oh, that's right. Why? You didn't tell me the story.
I thought the Splatoon OLED would be my last one, and this week I just got caught up in the red OLED Switch, the Mario edition.
Had that
with the secret coins. I have the old red one that wasn't OLED, but this one has the gold coins secret in the back.
Where'd you get this? Online somewhere?
Walmart was selling it for $250. I wasn't able to get it. Then I was able to get it for like $300, but it was like a reseller, and I was like, I was nervous about it. And then I was just sold. I was like, you know what? I need a Switch. I got to get through 2024. I need a boost. I was like, I'm going to get a brand new red Switch from Amazon, and it's coming Wednesday.
Good for you.
So that's when I'm going to play Unicorn Overlord. I'm waiting for my new Switch.
You're out of control.
I might buy the
short answer. John's only hobby is obviously video games. He's buying more Switches.
I may buy that 1 terabyte Zelda card too. I got to see if it's still on sale because I'm at a half a terabyte. I might go for the full 1 terabyte. Chess. I love playing chess.
I do love chess.
I don't play chess enough. I get into spurts of chess as I knock my headphones out. But I love playing chess. What else do I like to do? I like programming. I don't do it as much on the side as I used to, but I love programming. I love listening to podcasts. I like murder shows. I like video game podcasts, but that doesn't count, right? I like watching baseball. I'm a huge Mets fan. I will watch almost every game this year. Any game where I'm home, I'm watching it. I missed today's game, and probably thankfully it was pretty bad. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. And I probably got some other ones. But video games does take up a lot of my life right now between this podcast, my other podcast, collecting, all that stuff. But yeah, I don't golf though. I'm not a golfer.
You don't golf.
Yeah, not a golfer. Next question from Beer. If you were a character in Super Smash Brothers, whose ass are you kicking? I don't understand this question, I'll be honest.
I'm not sure I get it either, but I'm just going to say Wii Fit Trainer so I can touch your ass.
Okay. I like it. I mean, maybe it's a character you don't like.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't. And then what's their motivation? Is it someone you hate? You're tired of them? Or maybe they've been whooping you? I
Maybe.
don't know. I don't have any animosity towards anybody.
It's fair.
I'm not negative like Drew.
No, listen, I am not.
What would be your signature move?
It would be a full golf swing with a golf club.
That's a good one.
Just like 4. I would yell 4, and I would just swing at my golf club at them. Yeah, like a little power up. You hold it up top.
Final smash. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the
That would
one.
be cool.
And then they go flying, and they hit the screen.
I don't like to say baseball, but I'll do chess move, right? I'm going to make my moves. So I'm going to be like, whoa. And then I start moving, like my hands are going fast. And I'm like, move.
Checkmate.
And then it's like, checkmate.
All right.
By the way, congratulations reaching the 200 episode milestone. Keep up the great work. And here's to 200 plus more. Thank you, everybody, for all of your questions. That was an avalanche of questions.
It's a great episode. 3 hours past my bedtime to be here with you and enjoy this. It's been fun.
I mean, we're hitting a point where I'm worried that Zencaster is going to screw up if we hit 3 hours. So we're going to have to end it.
We're going to end this.
There.
Well, John, before we do that, what do we have coming up the next couple of weeks on the Nintendo Switch?
Fucking nothing. There is nothing coming out over the next 2 weeks. So play whatever shit you want. Pepper Grinder was really cool. Play it. There is nothing coming out for the next 2 weeks. I don't even think there's anything coming out on PlayStation over the next couple weeks. It is a dry couple weeks, so
springtime.
Enjoy it.
Do that yard work.
Dude, yard work is starting. I think Hambone started up his hard work this weekend.
I did. I cut down some trees yesterday. This is the year. I did a bird nest that I need to murder.
Yeah.
When do I mow? Probably not for another month.
Really?
Maybe sooner. Depends.
I might be a couple weeks from mowing. I'm not there yet, but I might be.
The snow blower is still out, and the lawnmower has not come out yet. I got to make that transition soon. I'm waiting for that to happen.
My lawn guy came over last week and aerated the lawn, so that's.
I already fertilized twice.
Yeah. Oh, really? You do that through the winter?
No, recently, last week.
Oh, really?
Or 2.
Oh, okay. Oh,
fertilized, and I limed.
I do like 4 or 5 through the year. I do an aeration, and the spring starts, and aeration when spring or in summer ends. I have not mowed yet. I'm not looking forward.
No, me either.
But I love my new lawnmower, my electric lawnmower. So
that's right.
Be excited. All right,
sweet,
good episode.
What a show. Happy 200.
Let's go to our wives.
Goodbye.
Hopefully they're not too busy. Good night, Dads.
The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available. And if you're using Apple or Spotify, please do consider leaving us a 5-star review. Pretty please. Find us on Threads, Instagram and TikTok at @NDadsAfterDark, or you can leave us a voicemail. Check the episode notes for details. Join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in the Dads After Dark show channels. That's where we chat and participate in monthly Mayhem contests, game tournaments and other fun activities. Get access by joining the Nintendo Dads Patreon or by subscribing to their Twitch channel. Check out our Substack at dadsafterdarkshow.substack.com for articles, links to social media, and our merch store. Fancy a t-shirt, perhaps? A big thank you to Family Jewels for our show's theme music. Check out his YouTube channel to hear other awesome Nintendo cover tunes. That's all for now. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.
Before I say my start, and so I use the word anagram. Do you know what anagram is, or should
yes, I know what anagram is.
Listen, not everyone might. Okay, let's go. Here we go. You can use that for later if you want.